In certain extreme situations, the law is inadequate. In order to shame its inadequacy, it is necessary to act outside the law, to pursue natural justice. This is not vengeance. Revenge is not a valid motive, it's an emotional response. No, not vengeance. Punishment.
Tonight we have a chance to say, yeah, you're right. We're too extreme, we're too wild, we're too out of control, we're too full of our own shit. Or we have a chance to say, hey, fuck you, you're wrong. Fuck you, we're right. Because you have all made it to the dance. Because believe me, this is the dance. Start the show.
No. Stop. That's not the intro for tonight. Stop it. We're not doing that. Fire up the one I wanted. I want... fire up the real one. Do that.
If you ever take a trip down to Cobb County, Georgia, you better read the signs, respect the law and order, use of hard times.
That's not the one.
You'll be serving
That-
hard times.
That's not what I asked for.
You know the big boss man will make you walk the line. You better watch out for
That's-
you'll be serving hard times.
That's not... Stop that. That's not the one I wanted either. Can we please just stop it and play the song that I asked for this
Hear ye.
No,
Hear ye.
this isn't
The Qourt's in session. The Qourt's in session now.
this
Here
isn't
comes
what I
the
asked for
judge.
either.
Here
This
comes
isn't-
the judge.
Here comes the judge.
No, I didn't ask for Shorty. I did not ask for Shorty Long. Here comes the judge. You know what, everyone? Good evening. Welcome to the... welcome. Hi. This is not what I asked for. That's not what I... Guys, we're digging in for the long haul tonight. Who knows how long we're going to be? Who knows how long the show's going to go? I'll be honest with you. I don't like all this chicanery any more than you do. All right? I don't like any of this, the stuff I'm reading on Kiwi Farms today. I don't like it. The stuff I'm seeing on social media, I don't like it. The stuff friends, family, and loved ones are calling me with and saying, I'm not. Look, today has been a great day, but it's because, I took my kids to their school open house. We got them all set up in their classroom. I don't know what else happened today. But all I know is people seem to be really happy. And, that's all I want. All I've ever wanted is for everyone to be happy. And by the way, good evening. This is actually, I know a lot of you see this beverage and you're like, Aaron, that looks like a very basic whiskey Coke. And it is. It's just Woodford Reserve. It's just a little, Coca-Cola out of a 2-liter bottle and my little old-timey wooden ice barrel here. That's all it is. But did you know that in some places this drink is a delicacy? Yeah. Some people pay $20,000 for this drink. Oh, I feel fancy. Some people pay $50,000 for this drink. You know what it was for me? Gratis. On the house. Poured it myself. You should almost, let it sit on the tongue and let it move amongst the taste buds. If it's a $20,000 beverage, 20. I've never drank something so expensive. And you know what's amazing? The price tag doesn't change the taste. Call me old fashioned. Call me middle class, whatever you want to say. The price doesn't change the taste for me. Still tastes like Woodford Reserve and Coca-Cola. That's it. Now, guys, you can't call it Quisky with a Q. That now we're shoehorning. Someone's saying, let's get fuckwin drunk with a Q. Honky says, Dr. Mengele pictured at Auschwitz, lawyer at Nuremberg. He was just visiting. Tonight's gonna be fun. But you know what? We have to remember one thing. There but for the grace of God go I. You know, we don't want to look like we're rubbing anything in. We don't want to look, because, you know, nothing's over. The wheels of justice move very slowly. And, you know, who am I to give advice? Triple N says high road. Exactly. You want me to start tonight on the high road? I'm going to give you some high road. I think April looked very good today. I do. It's the healthiest she's looked in a long time. I think she looked great. There's nothing wrong with saying that. A lot of people trashing the way she looked today. A lot of people shitting on it. I think you got to go a long way. Like, look, guys, the trouble she's in and the things she's done are bad enough. You don't need to make shit up. You know, you don't need to go, oh, she looked like a busted out coke whore. She looked fucking terrible and burnt out and this and that. She looked good. She did. Our girl looked good. And, you know, also, covering this is fine. This isn't gossip stuff. This was our old co-host. She worked on the Steel Toe Show. This was an employee. This is worth covering. Shuli isn't the only person who had an employee work through the court system this week. I tell you. Yeah, she looked good. I thought so. She did. Decision-making, not the best. And may I ask a little bit, can we drop the name Imholt? I'm asking nicely. I'll say please. I'm not upset. I'm not angry. I would just rather, and it's not even because of me. Seriously, I don't want her to have my children's last name. I would rather, respectfully, I'm asking, and I know they both watch this show because she changes her Instagram posts because I showed a picture of the dress she had on when we were in Las Vegas there when I bought her those dresses. First of all, I would tell both of you, like Nick, April, stop watching Steel Toe. It's bad for you. This is not good. Like, I wouldn't watch, if I were in your position, I wouldn't watch me. It can't be entertaining for you. It can't be good. It's got to be heart-wrenching constantly. I wouldn't do it. But anyway, may I ask in the future that we use Anderson, please? I don't care if you fucking use Ricada, just not Imholt, if you will. I don't believe you're deserving of the name, first of all. As Mel Gibson said in The Patriot, my children are better men. Well, and women. But please, for their sake, take their last name off your shit, please. That would be appreciated. She got it in the divorce. She got the, you know, when you get divorced, this is pretty cool. You know, you lose your home, you lose your spouse, you lose everything else. But you with it, you get a free name change. So that's pretty cool, right? A lot of people pay a lot of money to change their name. So if we could change the name, that would be cool. Let's go into the chat. Let's see what you guys think. Then I'll give you my thoughts on everything. I just don't want to lose the chat. Here's the deal. If you got questions for me and what I think and all that stuff, super chat it, Rumble rant it, PayPal it, whatever, and I'll organize it that way and we'll get through it. If we knock out tonight's goal, we'll watch the actual court hearing. I don't want to watch it on the show. I know that would take me all 2 hours. So we'll read your thoughts. We'll read your super chats. We'll read your Rumble rants, all that stuff. I'll give you my thoughts on the whole deal. I have a few. A lot of people have talked to me about this today. A lot of people want to talk about it. Kevin Brennan sent me a text today. He said, you want to come on MLC today? And I went, taking the kids to the open house. I can't. But I'd love to. Kevin's always very nice to me. Kevin's always a good guy. But I have some thoughts. I didn't even want to drink tonight. But I figured since, you know, it's a $20,000 beverage today, I thought I'd show off my freebie. This is fun. I do like when trolls come in and give you money. I think that's great. I think it's wonderful. And I especially like it when they come in to troll and you 100% agree with them. I think that's the best. This guy came in hot today. He was fired up. JS with $4.99. Thank you for the $4.99. He says, there's no way you can spin it. April looked hot as fuck. I mean, easy on hot as fuck. It's Qourt. You can look good. Can't really do hot as fuck in Qourt. You know, it's not appropriate to do hot as fuck. She looked good, though. She looks like she has someone with money taking care of her finally. You mean the guy with a wife and 5 children? Yeah, right. Exactly. Who doesn't want her to flip on him? You're right, JS. That is exactly the own you thought it was. No, she looked very good. We can agree on that 100%. Now, not everyone in the chat agrees with that. A lot of people are saying very mean, nasty things. I disagree with those things. Ozone with $4.99 says it's time like this. It's times like this when I bet you're glad you were kicked out of the polycule. Am I right? I don't know. If you look at Nick's text to me the night I said I wasn't coming back, I wouldn't say kicked out, my man. But again, thank you, Ozone, for the $4.99. 235 is our number for tonight. If we knock it out, if we make it another win for the toe, that's going to mean we watch the whole thing for overtime. Thank you, Buffalo Jockey, for the $1. He says, stay off social media after you leave the show. I didn't have to go on social media. I had people just calling me, texting me, wanting to like get my take on things and everything else. Let's go ahead to the chat. A lot of people want to go off on this, and I want to let them. If you have any specific questions of me, again, I got to monetize this little program. And you got some questions about my takes or anything that I leave out? Super Chat, PayPal, Streamlabs, it's all linked at the top of the page. Honky says, April wasn't too fond of her corner demon. I saw that. She had a corner demon today. Here's the problem. It was kind of cute to see Nick and April switch places, you know, like him be the corner demon for once. Problem is, I think what happened was April's corner demon, you know, he's a lying liar who lies, and you can't trust a word he says. But if you're stupid and he's the only voice you hear because he's isolated you from everyone else, you believe him. Some of us are smarter than that. And we know that everything he has said has been not true. Everything he said has been a lie. So he had her gassed up, thinking that this motion to dismiss, fait accompli, man. It's a done deal. Don't you worry. Oh, man, it's going to be wiped out. This is a home run. Lawyer did a good job writing it. I mean, he did the best he could. And I'm sure Nick had her thinking, well, it's going to get dismissed. Just like he thinks his search warrant's getting thrown out. I love how Nick is totally not a sports guy, by the way. I was watching Sean's show, and Nick's like, people keep saying this is a Hail Mary pass. It's not. It's an attempt at a one-punch knockout. Hey, Nick, in boxing, going for a one-punch knockout is considered the Hail Mary pass of boxing. That's when you do and it's the 12th round and you're behind on all the cards and you need a knockout. You go for the one-punch knockout. It's not a Hail Mary. It's that thing in a different sport that I really don't know anything the fuck about. But I think the corner demon thing, yeah, that was really interesting. The problem is he had her gassed up, thinking, you know, oh, this is going to get thrown out. And then as soon as the judge basically, from what I hear, because I haven't watched it yet, we'll watch it together if we hit the goal tonight. From what I hear, the judge just went, yeah, I'm dismissing that. Like, didn't even give it a second thought, just heard from both sides and went, all right, motion to dismiss denied. And then April looked over like, what the fuck? And then just started blinking. And from what I've heard from people, looked like she was about to cry. That's kind of her fault, though, because how many times are you going to let this fucking retard tell you shit that doesn't come true, tell you shit that doesn't happen? Remember, he's the one who told you, you don't have any charges because of me. You now only have charges because of him. He's the one who introduced you to cocaine. He's the one who told you, you can move back in, it'll be fine, we'll all just live together. And then they put charges back on you. He's the reason you've got charges in the first place. Nothing he's told you has been correct. Everything I've said has come to pass. And yet, here you are still surprised when this retard leads you astray. I mean, these women don't deserve sympathy anymore. They've listened to this fucking dipshit with no tard wrangler to control him. They've bought everything, and they're wondering why everything is a loss and denied and continued. Guys, gals, do you think that maybe the call's coming from inside the house? No? Fine then. Don't listen to me. I just went to my children's open house today while you went to court. Just, again, throwing it out there. I'm just a guy sipping on a $20,000 drink, doing some court TV analysis, as you see. This is a court TV tonight. Hardqore court coverage with Q's. That's the name of tonight's episode. The Dr. Mengele thing from Honky, that was very funny. MSO, this is not a gay shirt. The Gophers play tomorrow, and I'm showing my fandom. Brittany Boo says, are you drunk already? No, I'm having a good time, though. Helgi says, let's get fucking drunk marathon stream. No, we'll knock out the goal. We'll see how it goes from there. Dr. Rondo says, I love the smug. I'm not being smug. I'm trying to help. I was very complimentary in High Road. I said she looked great today. Looked better than she has in months. Thought she looked good. Didn't have any hooker outfits on. Call me a simp. I thought she looked good. Her judgment is dog shit. Let's talk about this. I'm sure it'll come up in the chat, but let's talk about this. Guys, none of us here are lawyers, right? We don't have any legal expertise. But if my whole story, let's say I was defending myself from something. Let's say someone said, hey, you live somewhere where this terrible thing happened. We're charging you with this terrible thing. And you said, aha, bullshit. Throw the whole thing out because I don't live there. I'm just visiting. Okay, you're just visiting. So you get a lawyer. You're ready to defend yourself. And the lawyer goes, we're going to get this thing thrown out. You know why? Because you were just visiting. Thank you, lawyer. I appreciate that. And then you show up for court for the motion to have the thing thrown out because you were just visiting in the fucking studio of the place that was raided. You literally went to court at the scene of the crime. If only there was a lawyer in that fucking house to give you any advice. I mean, good Christ. This is like OJ doing his fucking arraignment with bloody gloves on and a knife dangling from his neck like a necklace. Gee, and it's like OJ doing a fucking arraignment Zoom stream with Nicole Brown's head in his hand. What the fuck? Like somebody said in the chat, Dr. Mengele visiting Auschwitz. I'm just visiting Auschwitz. There's conjoined twins cut in half on your table. What are you talking about? That was hilarious. It was funny, but it was sad at the same time. Because it shows that between these three people, there ain't a fucking firing synapse between them. Kids, don't do drugs. Don't do drugs. Ugh. Do it from the fucking Resident Evil shower in the other house. I don't give a shit. Just don't do it from the scene of the crime when your whole excuse is, I don't live there. Oh, for fuck's sake. Use your phone. I do therapy every week. Zoom call from my phone. Works fine. Oh, it's working great, too. Talked yesterday. I told her, one thing I'm noticing about myself, I have this like kind of evil part of me and this bad part of me that I don't like. And I get him out on the show. He gets to exercise on the show. And I don't feel the need to be around him or have anything to do with that guy once that show is over. The me I give to my loved ones is fucking so much better than anyone I've ever been because that guy, he's a dick. He's an asshole. He gets to exercise in the morning and afternoon. And QMSO joking now, and the other guy doesn't exercise at all. I got a $20,000 drink in my hand, buddy. Don't make me spill it. She'll borrow the $20K like a dress from a loved one, says Honky. Oh, Nick's going to spend that $2K. Nick's going to get her the bail bond. They got to be able to drink, right? You can't not drink. So they'll pay that $2K. Keep your eyes out on the bail bonds and, to see that come out in public documents. She also, now somebody said that she has to report for fingerprinting and mugshot. The only thing is, I think if she already has the mugshot, she doesn't have to take another one. And if she's already fingerprinted, I don't think she has to report for that. So I don't know. We'll watch it later. We'll see. Atomic Ray says, slowly wait for the continuances. Well, there's already been one in Kayla's case. I'm waiting to see who cracks first, because now April's case hasn't been dismissed. And if she has any loved ones in her life, you know they hate this life she's living. You know they're calling her going, if they offer you immunity to fucking testify, you take it. You fucking take that shit. And I don't think she will. Sam, I'm sorry for not taking your call. I'm not hooked up to the system, and we got a lot of chats to go through. I'm sorry, buddy. But she won't. She's down, man. She's a bottom bitch. That's for sure. She's a lieutenant who wants to be the general. So I think she's going to be a good soldier, and I don't think she ain't going to snitch. But now the state of Minnesota is in a position where they can go, rat or rot, Either rat them out or rot. We don't give a shit. We're not dropping your charges. We're not lowering it to anything else. If anything, we're going to, jump it up there a little bit and shoot for more. You'll either testify against these two or, we'll let you swing on this one. And the odds of her doing jail time, even if she takes it to a trial, are fucking minimal on 5th degree charges. But it's certainly a felony on your record. That ain't good. McBuster says, rough day in court with a Q. Honky says, April looked like crap. She was once drop dead gorgeous. Now she looks like blonde Blair White. Yeah, you know what? I know that a lot of people want to see me twist the blade. I'm not going to do that. I thought she looked good. Triple N says she's still the face of April's magic bean. That's right. CrescentMountCoffee.myshopify.com. Get April's magic bean coffee. If they had any fucking balls, they'd cease and desist that shit. I'd laugh. I'd think it would be good. MSO says she was arrested under the Imholt name. Okay. All right. Well, then, I guess maybe technically you have to. By the way, Meme Copium. Imholt. I get the Emotep thing. That's a joke. But Imholt, for fuck's sake. Last time, Meme Copium. I love your shit, buddy. Imholt. McBuster says she had too much blush, looked like a streetwalker. Yes, I disagree. Skeezy Whitefish says, has she legally changed her name yet? I think so. MSO wants to change the coffee name to April's Tragic Bean. Oh. Nana's Clam says, is she still blonde? Then no, she didn't look that good. Ooh. Don't like blondes, huh? McBuster, the actual hearing lasts under 10 minutes. April barely talks, says to shut her mic off at the end. I thought it was the judge who said that she wanted her mic shut off. I could be. I get all my shit secondhand. Brittany Boo says, what happened? Did the charges stay? Yes, the charges are sticking around. 5th degree felony drug possession. The judge was not swayed by the motion to dismiss. Also, her lawyer, I'm not going to say he lied. Like, I'm not Nick. He lied. Everybody lies. Little projection there. But her lawyer did obfuscate a little bit when he said that both parties said that she was just visiting, that Nick and Kayla both said it. Kayla said to the police that she's the live-in nanny. That was said. So that's a little different. MSO says, hi, April. Hi, April's lawyer. Old Kevin. Guys, sorry if you're calling in. I want to get through this shit, and I don't have the phone hooked up to the board, and I don't want to fuck with that right now. Atomic Ray says, no, it is times like this. I don't want to live in a world with scent-filled Zoom meetings. With the fucking stinky pussy shit. What the... can you show us how those tits fart, Aaron, says King of All Yetis. We're going to go through that clip later. Again, if we hit overtime tonight, which you guys, the links are in the chat. Thank you very much. There you go. If we knock out the goal tonight, we're going to watch the whole thing. And we're going to... I don't think that guy said, let's... what is it? Can you show us how those tits fart, April? I think he said, let's see how them tits are, April. And, Zoom, not the best audio quality. I don't know. But yeah, people yelled shit at the end of the hearing. You guys are going to piss off Null, by the way, because you're going to get fucking all of these proceedings and all this stuff never televised. Like, never streamed. Because they're going to be like, every time we do it, some retard fucking yells some shit. You're going to get in trouble with old Jersh. Numero uno Josh Denny fan says Aaron can use terms like fait accompli tonight since Matt isn't around. Fucking number one Josh Denny fan. I love that guy. He wasn't like, he and I weren't always on good terms when he first started coming around. But he's one of the funniest guys out there now. Nana's Clam says, come on, Aaron. We all know Nick taught you everything you know about boxing. That's true. Honky says her lawyer Gallagher would be more useful smashing watermelons. Look, man, he's doing the best he can, you know? He's doing the best he can with what he's got. Fivy Inzo says you watched every second of it, guy. I haven't seen it. The only clip I've seen is let me see them tits fart. That's all I've seen of the whole thing. I don't know anything else. But like I said, we knock out the goal tonight. I'll gladly watch it with you. Atomic Ray says, yeah, about April, but Nick needs to learn reality more than she does. April has killed before. Oh, a deer, yeah. Well, I don't know. Like, at some point, a guy lies to you enough. Like, he's lied about everything. He lied about me, lied about his case, lied to those two girls. I mean, you got to keep them in check. You got to lie. It's in order to do that. By the way, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. I should really check before. Look at me maturing and shit. I really should check to see if I can say anything about this. Nick sent DMs to someone, like, in my life, and was, like, trying to gaslight them into thinking I was a bad guy. Like, if you want to, like, I didn't know how much Nick thought about me until his motion to dismiss. And I certainly didn't realize it until so many people told me, yeah, he sent messages to me, like, about you. It's fucking weird. And I was like, oh, he does think about me. I heard Nick is always right, says Fauci's Pangolin. Ask him. Yeah, but these girls, at some point, these girls got to say, look, this guy's wrong about fucking everything. Is there a chance he's leading us down a primrose path to destruction? Nah. Chad Buzamok says, I called Aaron. Would be truly insufferable tonight with this court shit. Chad Buzamok, I took the high road. I said she looked great. Other than that, I'm just spitting facts. That's it. Numero uno Josh Denny fan says, marathon stream is for when the schnoz finally gets put away. No, I'm not going to celebrate that. You know what I'm going to celebrate? Is the day he comes on stream and says, for the sake of my children and the sake of my family, I'm going into rehab. I'm going to get better. I'm going into therapy. I'm going to find out why I've been this way for so long. I'm going to check into programs. I'm going to get better, because that's not weakness. That's strength. Weakness is doing the same dumb shit that got you here and continuing on that path. That's weakness. A man who can't admit that he has flaws and he's wrong and he can't help himself and he has to get help outside. That's the real shit. But I'll have a marathon stream the day he goes into rehab and goes into therapy and gets his life figured out, because he's more than halfway done. To quote, I think it's a Rolling Stone song or is it a Beatles song? He has more road behind him than he has left to go. And, you know, the clock's ticking, and the lifestyle you live doesn't exactly guarantee your 70s. So I will celebrate that. I will not celebrate a man willfully walking into his demise. I will celebrate a man admitting he's done wrong and atoning for his sins. I certainly will. Didn't use an American flag like Chad, though. Big mistake, says Kevin Soundboard. Damn. Let's continue on here. I'm going to pick out the relevant chats, and then we'll go to the YouTube super chats and all that stuff. So if you guys are sending those, I'm going to get to those in just a little bit. Sugar is a drug, sugar tits, says Los Tejas. I'll work on it. I'm sorry. Fauci's Pangolin says, I have a bag of snacks. There are many bags of snacks, but this one is mine. Anonymous says, April showed up for Zoom court, dropped the Baldo bunker. Nick blurred the background so the courts couldn't see his shitty artwork. Yeah, you can't file a motion to dismiss by saying you were just visiting when you're there. Oh my God. It's like Lee Harvey Oswald going to arraignment on the grassy knoll. Jesus fucking Christ, you guys, get your shit together. You can't sit there and get on a stream and pontificate like you're intelligent and then act like a goddamn retard. I'm yelling at these guys to get better. Hire me as your fucking life coach. That's such a bad idea. Holy shit. Could you imagine? I barely have my own shit together. I just look much better compared to these guys. Kevin Soundboard says, anyone who can defend a house full of guns, drugs, and kids has serious problems. I feel bad for the kids, but they need to admit their mistakes. Wait, are you... You're saying that the three of them need to admit their mistakes, not the children. Buffalo Jockey with $1 says, too bad you can't exercise those man tits on the show. Sorry. Dr. Rondo says, maybe because it's a new charge, she has to reappear for a mugshot and prints. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not Kurt. I'm not Sean. I'm not any of those guys. I'm not Andrew. I'm not a legal expert, so I don't know that shit. Ask those guys about that. I'll just sit here and drink my $20,000 whiskey. Again, for some people, this is a $50,000 whiskey. For me, as I said before, gratis. By the way, I'm just visiting this studio tonight. Just visiting. Honky gets the credit for that one. No observers shouted at the end. I suspect they were Nick plants. Prime suspect, Juju or Vito. No, I don't think so. I think it's just retards shouting stuff out. You know what made me laugh today is like I'm reading Nick's thread on Kiwi Farms, and boy, do they all think John DiCaprio is a capital F word gay. I mean, they were just like, does anyone have a fucking clip of this hearing without that homo fucking screaming? They hate him. I wish John DiCaprio and Win by Two Radio would get more exposure because people's commentary on him is genuinely hilarious. Let's continue on here. Rusty Grammer says, whoever is disturbing the Zoom streams are actually hurting themselves. It was an arraignment hearing, for fuck's sake. Well, they love shouting shit. They do. Anders says, laughing my ass off, Nick is really fucking spiraling. Really? What did he do more? Or what did he do now? I mean, he really fucking, like, he gasses these girls up and tells them all this shit that's going to happen, and then it never happens. But again, in Nick's defense, oddly enough, these girls, they keep buying the shit. Why wouldn't you keep selling it? There's a reason Nick has no friends anymore. There's a reason everyone's abandoned him. It's because he tries to control everyone. Intelligent people don't appreciate being handled, and they fucking split. I'm gone. Drexel's gone. Fucking all his law people are gone. You know? The only people that are left are the people who think they can get something from him. And, you know, there's a reason there's only 3 of you left and that the kids were gone for an entire summer. And the reason is you fucking lie. You try to create your own reality. You try to bend the universe to your will. Motherfucker, you're not Thanos. You're not even Ebony Maw. You're the little kid in Iron Man 3. I think that would be more accurate. Charlie Manson ran more bitches. Nick's game is weak. Perhaps. Citizen M says, wait, Nick was DMing your first one. No, Citizen M. No. This actually might be creepier. Numero uno Josh Denny fan with $5 says, come on, motherfuckers, let's hit this goal or I'm sending Josh Denny links all night. Oh, my God. Guys, you might want to fucking think about hitting that goal. I love that she called in from the studio, says Sam Show. That is classic. I mean, if my ex-baby was calling in from that studio as a gag, like if that was a subtle, if she's like a really like deep undercover informant for the state of Minnesota, and she was doing that to fuck with those two, it's the most hilarious Andy Level Kaufman shit I've ever seen. Unfortunately, I don't think that's what it was. Chad Buzamok says, if you use that 20K or 50K drink joke again, you deserve to die, LOL. All right, I understand. But for some people, it is $20,000. Citizen M says that heckler at the end was incredibly dishonest. April doesn't have tits. I mean, look, I've got more experience than anyone, and I will tell you, April does have tits. It's just that when you compare her to someone who has big tits, she doesn't have. Look, it's more of a like a comparison thing. She'd have the biggest tits in, say, a middle school. They exist. They're her tits. They're tits. It's not always, the giant voluptuous tits that, win at the county fair. Sometimes, petite works for some people. Nana's Clam says, all must read from the Book of Toe. It is the guide to living a life of W's. Well, look, we're doing well now. We will not be doing well at some point. It all comes back around again. Nana's Clam says, I don't get the 20,000 thing. Could you explain it in great detail real quick? Fuck you. April has to pay $20,000 or she can't have mind-altering substances. Whoops. Snowcat Tish says Nick is texting Slam Piece, right? Honky is theorizing that Nick is DMing Gordy. Let's just say Nick still loves you, boy. Nick still has a crush on you, boy. That's all I'm saying. I don't hate him. I don't know where this idea that he and his lawyer got that I hate him. I don't. I think he's fascinating. I don't think he understands who he is, and he doesn't understand how fascinating he is. Honky says, talking constantly about April's tits is making a mountain out of a pair of molehills. Now, see, is that nice? I'm high-roading. These guys are being mean. Sam Show says, Aaron, we could see her chest. So then you agree with me. Buffalo Jockey with $1 says, compared to your tits, hers are the smallest. Oh. Muted Growl says, all these incels acting like April wasn't straight fire today are embarrassing themselves. I agree with that guy. I thought April looked great. Even SP today was like, April looked really good. Like, yeah. Even when I said it looks like she's gotten a little older, like that was my only critique, she was still like, no, she's always looked like that. She looks good. So I don't see any problem with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I didn't divorce her for being hot. I divorced her because, Coke turns people into fucking assholes. And you can't be around kids with that shit. Not a good time to reference middle school tits in this Shuli climate. It's ESO climate. It is not Shuli climate. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and check out the super chats over on the YouTube side. And then we will go ahead and we will answer more questions. We'll talk about this if you want to. But I really haven't given a lot of my thoughts. That's true. If we knock out tonight's goal, we're going to watch the whole Qourt thing together. I have not seen it yet. We'll all be watching it for the first time. Any commentary I'm giving about what was on the actual feed is what I'm getting secondhand from other people. Diamonds Dehenna with 199 says, hey, Nick is an athlete. He was a cheerleader. Have you ever in your life seen a man who wasn't a creepy R-wordist ever say, I became a cheerleader for the pussy? Replace the P with a B, and you got lots of people who have said that. But have you ever heard a self-respecting man be like, I became a cheerleader so I could get laid? Until the running back wants your girl, you mo. Jesus. Scott Richard Staska becoming a baby boot. Thank you, you fucking double agent. I love Scott Richard Staska, but he's a steel toe and an onion guy. I like him, though. Also gifting 5 memberships. What a generous dude. Thank you, Staska. Drunk Cat with $2 says, we've heard this fucking story 1,000 times already. Well, how about 1,001? Is that going to kill you? You lived through the first 1,000. Dora Carrington with $2 says, let your shadow self out. That's what they called it. Yeah, my shadow self is on the air. That's who this is. This is not me off the air. I'm a great fucking time. This guy's an asshole. I can't help it. It's, take it for a walk. Tridio with $5 says, come on out to Stoney's Bar tomorrow night. Dana's Food Kitchen will be serving, or head to Sauk Rapids VFW for their bike show. Hey, wait a minute. You did a double plug. You son of a bitch. That drops us down to 215. Thank you for that. Samuel gifting a membership. Thank you, sir. Dora Carrington becoming a Baby Boot member. Thank you for that. Drunk Cat with $2 says, is this a rerun show? No, there was a fucking court hearing today. What do you want from me? Tridio with $5 says, hook Sean up with Cheeto's contact to do a remote at Stoney's. Then again, the last time you hooked a lawyer up with something, they left you. Sean wouldn't do me like that. I would love to do an event with Sean. That would be a lot of fun. The red carpet, Rick from the red carpet got in touch with me and he wants to do something. I should take him up on that. I think that's where Adrian and I should start working together again. Dora with $2 says, who gave you the whiskey? It's my whiskey. Just if I'm in Woodford, to me is a versatile one. Like my favorite old fashioned whiskey is Basil Hayden or probably Angel's Envy. Like if I'm looking for just like bourbon and Coke, like I can go with a Bullet or something like that. Woodford to me is a little more versatile. I can go either way with it. Knob Creek too. I can go either way. I can go old fashioned or Coke with those. Anime Sucks, Cope and Sneed. God bless you, dude. How about Anime Sucks, Cope and Sneed becoming like famous because of Nick's Coke stream? Is this the Anime Sucks, Cope and Sneed? Should I read this super chat 5 times? Says, sad to see April today. Threw it all away for Nick, who was sitting in the room, not because he cares about her. He's only there to make sure she won't throw him under the bus for his case. She can still run. Oh, are we getting serious now? God damn it. I agree with you. Under no circumstance would I want April back ever. I can't let her around my children, and I don't want to experience that ever again. And now knowing that she's kind of a chameleon, she's kind of someone who mirrors a lot. Nothing would ever feel genuine. But I don't want her. I want better. How do I say this? I would never want her again. But I want better for her than this. I think she has more in her. That's a fucking that is a bad choice of words. I'm better than this. I think rebuilding her life would be easy. I really do. I think you could go to Litchfield. Nobody would really know much about what you've been up to or anything like that. Your parents could get you a job where they work. They could set you up real nice. You could start moving up the ladder. You can still kick this felony thing. Not the way Nick tells you to, because you got to remember, Nick is a narcissist. Nick looks out for Nick first. Nick is never going to tell April the actual key to her freedom. He doesn't care about her. He cares about Nick. And if people care about Nick, he can care about them until it's time to care about Nick first. That's about as far as it goes. I will give him that. But he's focused on self-preservation. I believe if he loved you, he would tell you, they will drop this felony case if you put this on me. I am a man. I am a father of 5. I am a husband. And being that sometimes means you take a bullet for others and you take responsibility. Testify against me. You'll be free. You'll have no charges. Like if you want to be the man you told other people you are when you said she doesn't have charges because of me, make that fucking true. Don't make that a cope in your brain. Make it true. You might even redeem yourself in the eyes of some of these people who hate you. I know I would have a lot of respect for that move. You're 42. You've got a trust fund, 5 kids and a wife of 20 years. Bro, your time is over. Whatever you were going to do, you did it. And while you had a short run, it was a good run. It's a better run than I'll ever have. Let's say I get back on radio, I even get syndicated. I'll never have a run that you had for that year or two, ever. What more do you want? It's still time to turn it around and be a decent human being rather than a giant hunk of shit. So I agree with Anime Sucks, Cope and Sneed. Nick was in that room to babysit. He was not there for support. Nick wants to make sure she doesn't roll over. But if Nick really gave a shit, he would say, blame it on me. Get yourself free. You're 29 years old. You've got the rest of your life ahead of you. Please do it. Especially if you're guilty. Like, if I love someone and I'm guilty of something and they're tangentially involved, I will do what I can to make sure they're safe. Nick just doesn't have that gene, I guess. $2 from Dora Carrington says, Gino said he's your friend again on his podcast today. Fucking clip or I don't believe you. Clip or I do not believe you, sir. Anime Sucks Cope and Sneed for another $5. Says, just left a controlling alcoholic / addict boyfriend who lost his family and friends like Nick. This is like therapy to keep me going. I know I made the right decision. Hey, man, thank you. Or lady. By the way, are you the Anime Sucks Cope and Sneed? Because that would be awesome. I've gotten those messages from a lot of people, and it's going to sound douchey and self-serving, and I'm sorry. But I've gotten that from a lot of people who have said, you talking about therapy, you talking about Al-Anon for family members of addicts has helped me immensely. It's, given me resources for other people to get help, myself to get help. I'm glad, man. And if you, I don't know. I'm really sorry. I'll say that. I don't know if I can say it. I'll say it this way. I've been to meetings before where it's been Al-Anon people and addicts together, and I think that's wonderful. And you get perspectives from so many different people. You almost get to hear from the people who hurt you in a weird way, and then you get to talk about what hurt you. And you get to figure out what that disconnect was in a safe environment. It's really great. So Anime Sucks, Cope, and Sneed, if you just left an addict, consider going to Al-Anon meetings. It's really helpful because I'm sure you talk to a lot of your family members and they're being nice and they're being supportive, but they think you're nuts because they can't understand the situation you went through. You go to an Al-Anon meeting, people start talking, they start telling your story back to you as their story, and you'll go, I'm not crazy. I'm not nuts. It's, this did hurt. This is legit the way I feel. Because I understand, man, being around addicts, it makes you feel like you've gone crazy. It makes you feel like you're not living in the real world and they're telling you who you are and you just don't see it, but you see what they're doing and they're telling you that they're not doing it. It fucks up your brain. So going to be around people who have been through the same thing as you have, it expedites your recovery. Because believe it or not, Anime Sucks, Cope, and Sneed, I love saying that name in an advisory role, you do need recovery. You may have not been an addict, but you need recovery. And it will help. Addicted to Ubiquity with $5 says, whoever said those two things, April, meanie bajini for sure. Whoever said those things to April is a meanie bajini for sure. Yeah, April looked good. You can say a lot of things about April, but she looked good today. You meanie bajinis. Anime Sucks, Cope, and Sneed with $5 says, honest question. Hey, that's what the Super Chats, Rumble Rants, PayPals, and Venmos are for tonight. Honest questions. Is April the kind of gal raised and told a man will save her? Factory girl, clung to you, now to Nick. Could explain a lot, just saying. I've said this before, I'll say it again. I don't really know April that well. I know the half of April that I got to see. Some of that could be good, some of that could be bad. Sure, you could say the same thing about any one of us. But then I saw the other half that kept doing things because they thought I would like them. And I saw her do that with Nick as well. So I know maybe 50% of April. And I know she was raised right. I know she was raised properly. But that other 50% ignores the way she was raised. Because she wants... Here's the thing about April. I think she wants to impress men. And that's too bad. And I'll plead guilty to not seeing it and just letting her do that with me. That's a shitty place to be. So is she the kind of girl raised and told a man will save her? I don't think her mom would teach her that. No, I don't. So I don't think she is that way. Dora Carrington with $5 says, I don't know how to clip. I'm not a lying liar who lies. Gino said it. If somebody has a fucking link to Gino's show and a timestamp, I'd love to see it. I love Gino. I really do. I like Gino, and I think his woman got in the way between the two of us, and I like the guy. He could have been talking about Aaron Berg, though, by the way. He might not have been talking about me. April looked like Nick did her makeup. I don't know. I don't think that's fair. I thought April looked professional today. Honky says, nah, April was once straight up pretty. Her Adam's apple looked like Andy Garcia's twin. Man, I don't want to end up on one of those calls and have my fucking look picked apart. Last time I went to court, people thought my suit looked good. I'm gonna take my W and walk away. Bandin says, I would rather fuck April than Aaron. Congratulations, you're not a homosexual. And you have better taste. Citizen M says, steel toe and onion guy. I don't trust him. Anders says, Nick is texting Aaron's uncle trying to convince him Aaron's a black hat. Oh, no. He's going to say that I have done babies in a med bed, too. Don't blow my cover, you dirty fucking greasy-haired fuck. Where would Aaron get a black hat to fit that forehead, says Fauci's pangolin. Not nice. I don't like it. I would custom craft a hat to fit great leader Aaron, says Nana's Clams. Thank you. Hey, Aaron, my weird downstairs neighbor thinks you might be our messiah. He's kind of like your uncle, but you save the world. I'll give it a shot. Worst thing that can happen is I fail and we end up in the same shit pot we're in now. Wild Saffron says, not only did Nick get addicted and has to dry out, but he can't accept the fame, the adoration, and the envy of his haters is gone forever. Yeah, just live a normal life. Your family has more money than God. You'll be fine. Walk away from the fame part. You can't handle it. It broke you down. It destroyed you. You know? Buffalo Jockey with $1 says, rebuilding her life means simply getting herself back to a dead-end, low-pay, shitty factory job in all fairness. The bar is so low that it's almost touching the grass. That's what I'm trying to say. It wouldn't be hard for her to get her shit together. Vidam says, April looked awesome today. I hope April can get her charges dismissed. Well, she is guilty. I mean, it literally was on debit cards that were active with her name on it. It's pretty open and shut. Honky says she would bury Nick the minute a wealthier guy is willing to whisk her away. Returning to level 1 and starting over doesn't seem to be in her repertoire. Maybe. Honky says, all this time I thought Aaron was attending meetings for anti-Muslim sentiments. Al-Anon. You know, somebody told me today, they said that April was making faces in court, and that, by the way, get ready to clip this if you're a Melton fan. I'm sure he's going to love this. I heard April in court today. Ooh, she's scrimping. Copyright Patrick Melton. Does that get a pop? Do I get a pop for that? For saying she was scrimping? April has very low self-esteem. She married Aaron and fell for a Baldo guru. I mean, look, I can't argue with him there. Buffalo Jockey with $2 says the only half April you saw and cared about was the back half of her head during foreplay. Clearly, you never bothered to learn about the rest of her you were warned about. I'm sorry. Anonymous says, sounds like April can't be a bridesmaid for her internet friend. Guys, I must be missing something. I don't know what you guys are talking about or what. I don't know what happened with Gino today or anything like that. I'm totally out of the loop on this. Knowing 50% of April would be enough for me, says MSO. Cheers. Chad Buzamok, I raised my $20,000 drink to him. Chad Buzamok says, I thought you hated Melton. Everyone thinks I hate Nick, and I hate Melton, and I hate all these people. I don't hate anybody. The person he's been DMing said no to the DM talk. Nope. Oh, no. Okay. Okie dokie. Thought I'd check. Let's catch up with the chat, then I'll do a few texts that we got here. Chad Buzamok says, God damn you in that joke. Citizen M says, Aaron saying scrimpin' melts my heart. Fuck the haters. I'm taking Rakeda down for my boy. You don't have to do that. Honky says, no one hates Melton. They just pity him. Fatty's going to croak for being an unhealthy fag. Jeez. Well, I just don't want to see him scrimping. That's all. Dora Carrington with $2 says, Gino said Nick was the problem. I insted Gino right now. Tell him to call into the show. Instagram Gino. Tell him, give old Aaron a call. Darren Dora Carrington, thanks for the $2. Game Show GB with $2 says April trapped in the Baldo bunker. Sad, pathetic. Look, it is a terrible fucking idea. And I feel bad for her lawyer because her lawyer crafts this well thought out motion to dismiss, saying that she was just visiting. And then April does the fucking hearing from their house. Work with your fucking attorney. Give him a hand. That's why I like my lawyer. My lawyer would have fucking called her and talked to her and walked her through it and said, here's what you're going to fucking do. You know? I can't say enough about my lawyer. He's such a good lawyer that by tomorrow you're going to be working in Alaska. So dress warm. Aaron, April can't leave the state without permission from the court. Oh, that's why she can't be a bridesmaid. Okay. I bought her a dress and everything. Damn. Okay. Well, I think Nick's going to pay that for her. I think Nick's going to pay her bail. I mean, he has to. It's his girlfriend, and his girlfriend gets mighty possessive of him. And his girlfriend is going to say, well, you paid Kayla's, and Kayla's is more expensive than mine. He's going to have to. He has to. Let's continue on here. All right, we're all caught up with the super chats. We're all caught up with the Rumble rants and all that. We're looking good for tonight. If you want to contribute to the show, boy, do we appreciate that. If we knock out tonight's goal, we're going to watch the court hearing in its entirety together tonight. So that'll be a good time. We'll have some fun with that. I fucking hate these things where I've got some people I need to thank for PayPals, but they've got this stupid fucking thing where they're like, click the boxes that have all the stairs. And like there's partial stairs in some of it. So you're like, okay, does that count? Does that not count? I don't know. There's that one. There's that one. Oh, this is fucking obnoxious. There. I'm human. Jesus fucking Christ. Get it. All I want to do is thank my fans for giving me money. Jesus. All I want to do is thank you guys. All right, here we go. Fucking hell, why is this so difficult? Sorry about this. I don't want anybody left out. I want to be all caught up so that we can go into the texts and then we can go into some other shit and we can comment on your guys' comments. I know a lot of people are interested in what I have to say about this. Thank you to Sandy for $10. Very much appreciated. 170 is the number for tonight. Thank you guys so much. Go ahead and knock that out. And like I said, we'll watch the whole deal, heckles and all. What else do we have here? I'm missing out on a lot of stuff. Nick's daddy, Bob, is going to pay. Nick has his own money. He can pay. Gino, please come back. Rumble Fridays just haven't been the same since you've been gone. Look at that. Gino can go fuck himself, someone else says. Oh, my goodness. I don't understand. Didn't Aaron introduce April and Nick? He talks like she's the monster, but he did this, right? No. We did a comedy show together, you fucking weirdo. Cheeseburger Pie says, you should have it, but I had to make sure. All right. Thank you, bud. Okie doke. All right. On to the texts. Let's see what you guys got here. Also, Scott Richard Staska sent me something very interesting. All right, I'll get on that after the show, buddy. All right, text messages coming in. Just wanted to say hi. Thank you. It's very helpful as I'm going through all of these. Wild Turkey 101 is better than Woodford Reserve. Do the kids know about April's legal troubles? I don't know. I think the oldest does. But I don't think the other two do. No. Here we go. Hobo says April looked jacked on Addies. I wouldn't know what that looks like, so I don't know. Nice of your kid to write on the board for you. The penmanship is getting better. I wrote that. This person writes, all this tomfoolery is nonsense. Okay. And Just wanted to say hi again, says Nana's Clams. All right, we're all caught up on the show text. Thank you guys very, very much. Ananalas says, never forget, this is all Chrissy Mayer's fault. All right, guys. Thank you so much. What are we at now? I haven't updated it on Rumble. 170 is the number. Yeah, I mean, my thoughts on the thing. I mean, I know a lot of you guys have been writing in a lot of stuff. You covered most of it. My thoughts on it are this. Signing in from the fucking Baldo bunker is beyond fucking retarded. I mean, it's incredibly stupid. Nick making these girls think that there's going to be a Hail Mary pass that knocks out this whole thing. I don't even think that's his fault for lying. I know Nick, and he has to create a universe that he can live in. And he can't live in a universe where he's totally fucked everything up. He won't let himself think that. So he has to get these girls to think that, and they hinge on his every word. That's why they hated me. That's why they wouldn't like it. Like Nick and April didn't like it when I talked about drugs and shit, because they didn't want to stop. So I looked like the party pooper and the bad guy because I got between them and the good stuff. So they all want to believe the same thing. So as long as one person gets really forceful and talks very, in flowery terms about how it's all going to get thrown out, they're going to believe it because they're susceptible to it because they want to. They're susceptible to the manipulation. But I think if you're a real man and not a piece of shit, I think there's got to come a time where you let these women listen to their attorneys, because I don't think their attorneys are telling them to take it all the way. You got to let these women listen to them. You got to let these women make themselves safe. I mean, one of these women is the mother of your 5 fucking children. You've got to get her to safe ground. And then if you care about April, which, look, you guys have an unnatural relationship. That's fine. Whatever. I was part of it too. It's fucked up. It's weird. It's not okay, but it's not illegal. If you care about people, you sacrifice for them. If you care about people, you make sure they get to high ground, and you drown in the flood if you have to. That's what a man does. So be a man, not a pimp. I don't think that message is going to get through. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. 09 Canyon says Keanu and Gino. Oh, by the way, speaking of Keno, are the Casino Boys going to be on tonight? I really hope so. Keanu and Gino are too fickle, joking about April's situation with Aaron, and then, Aaron is the devil and we never liked him. Would be weird if Gino wants to be friends again. I like Gino. I purposely have not shit-talked Gino for a reason. If he ever wanted to talk, I'd be willing to talk to the guy. I would. I genuinely like him. He's genuinely a good time to hang out with. Make Gino grovel if he wants to be in your good books. I guess you and I are different. All right, guys, Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, etc. Let's get that 170 down to 0, and let's have a great rest of our show. So, yeah, going from the bunker was fucking stupid. Thinking that judge was going to throw this whole thing out day one was fucking stupid. You got conditions on you until you post bail. I do, from what I heard, the way people described the way she was behaving during the hearing, her facial expressions, her looks of indignance, I think she probably considered that family was watching, maybe parents were watching and friends were watching, because somebody did tell me when they were describing the cocaine on her cards, she was shaking her head like that never happened. Almost like she was trying to tell mom and dad, no, mom and dad, no, absolutely not. That kind of makes me sad. That's a bummer that someone has to go through that. But then again, you did it. You did it, so you have to go through it. That's how this shit works. That's how, as they say, this is how the game go. Thank you guys for all your super chats and whatnot. Let's keep those up. Appreciate it. Okay, moving on. That's all I got. And until I watch the actual court hearing, that's all I've got. This person says, I want to say hi too in the text. Oh, thank you very much for saying hi also. Homeless encampments being swept up in San Francisco. This isn't increasing. I love this. I love the fact that Gavin Newsom and all these fucking California people who made this mess in the first place. Oh, and by the way, thank you very much for the 700 people watching the show. I know as we move away from this court shit, you're all going to leave. You don't care about my homeless jokes or making fun of California or anything like that. If you want to hear more of this stuff, Super Chats and Rumble Rants are the best way to do it. You got questions, you've got observations you want me to comment on, throw us a couple of bucks. I can stick on this topic as long as you want to, but if you're done with it, then I'll move on. MSO says, Aaron, do you have a copy without win by 2? Because he ruins it. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I saw everybody fucking hated John DiCaprio. I want John DiCaprio to be exposed to the entire country. I want everybody who watches podcasts and shit to have to watch Win by 2 Radio because people's reactions to him are classic to me. I mean, I've never seen a guy more universally shit on than John DiCaprio from Win by 2. Taste Fairy Ialto with a Rumble link. Breaking Baldo in the State versus April Imholt. Alyssa clips. Oh, Alyssa put the whole thing up. Okay, yeah. No, I've already got it. Thank you to Alyssa. But we'll get to that. Again, we'll get to that tonight if we make our 170. It's our second to the last goal of the week, by the way. Thank you. Wild Saffron says, hey, Aaron, shout out your bro Cheeseburger Pie. The man be screwing with his cat. Screwing with his cat? Screwing with his cat. Actually, wait. We do have one clip that I want to show from April's hearing today. Let's do that real quick. I got to grab this real quickly. Yes, we have April's attorney talking to the judge about his motion. Let's play this real quick, and then hopefully you guys have a little dough for us, and we'll move on to some other stuff.
Your Honor, may we approach the bench, please?
If you wish.
I object to this witness being called at this time. We've been given no prior notice he'd testify, no discovery of any tests he's conducted or reports he's prepared, and as the court is aware, the defense is entitled to advance notice of any witness who will testify, particularly those who will give scientific evidence so that we can properly prepare for cross-examination, as well as to give the defense an opportunity to have the witness's reports reviewed by a defense expert who might then be in a position to contradict the veracity of his conclusions.
Mr. Gambini?
Yes, sir?
That is a lucid, intelligent, well-thought-out objection.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Overruled.
Oh, man. See, that motion to dismiss was really good, and it was really well thought out. But in the end, the judge he wasn't playing it. Oh, I got a piece of ice that's perfect for stirring right here. If I can just keep a hold of it. It's like a little stubby, tiny little clit that I can stir my drink with. There we go. I didn't bring a straw or anything, and I didn't want to use a Sharpie like a goddamn mongoloid. So here we are. All right, guys. I guess we're moving on. Holy shit. I guess this did carry us through the first hour of the show. So we do have that. One thing we do need, though, is those contributions. 170 is the number. Pretty please. With cheeseburger pie on top. All right, so Gavin Newsom allowed all these bums to roam the streets, put up tents in the middle of fucking San Francisco and, literally shit all over city blocks and never did anything about it. Now, since he sees that the rest of the country fucking hates his guts and he probably wants to run for president in 4 years, he's trying to clean up the streets and he's trying to sweep these homeless encampments. He's sweeping. Well, it's not going great because this is a guy who's conditioned these lefty hippies in California that the homeless are fine and we don't need to touch them and we should leave them alone. So now he looks like a fascist and they don't like it. The other problem in California, and one of our listeners kind of turned me on to this, is that the homeless in California are different than the homeless, like, say, Montana, Idaho, whatever. In that, there's a lot of people who can work 1 or 2 full-time jobs in San Francisco, and they can't fucking afford an apartment, like a studio apartment. So it's not always just bums and drug addicts and drunks. Sometimes it's legitimately people who are working their fucking balls off and have nothing to show for it. So let's check this out. First, Yule Gibbons with $10 says, tuned into 95.3 this evening. I don't know 95.3. 2 guys joking over a Kamala news story. Then one of the guys even dropped a beat that he liked. Is competition heating up for Steel Toe on terrestrial radio? I don't know what that means. 95.3. Is that KNSI? Dropped a beat that he liked? Oh, are they trying to mimic the old Toe? Is that what it is? $160 away from tonight. Continue to chip in. We appreciate that. We can get this knocked out. We can watch that whole court proceeding. So let's go to this CNN report. And I'm sure CNN's confused because they have to like Gavin Newsom, but they also have to really fucking love homeless people. So let's see who they end up siding with on this one. See, like me personally, this is where my fascist comes out. I want these fucking encampments just swept through, bulldozed. I want them gone. It's a quality of life issue. It's the broken window theory. If you've got bums on the street shitting, shooting up, it demoralizes people. It takes something away from the community, and it ensures that you're going to be limited in terms of what your city can accomplish and how people feel about it. It takes away civic pride, I guess.
Our Homeless in America series. Earlier this summer, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that cities can fine or even jail people for sleeping outside. CNN's Nick Watt went to San Francisco.
Fucking good. Why was this even a question in the first place? Fantastic. This gives you the ability to sweep up these homeless encampments for no fucking reason. Wait till nighttime or daytime. Anyone who's sleeping, out you go.
A city with a notorious homeless problem, which is now aggressively sweeping homeless encampments from its streets.
Gotta go, man.
You gotta go?
I gotta go, bro.
But do you know where you're gonna go? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think this guy's working 80 hours a week and can't find an apartment. I just, just guessing.
Okay.
We're in the Mission District. It's a little after 7 a.m.
Is this the first time you've been involved in one of these sweeps?
No. And this is the first time they've been so quiet and nice.
Do you think you'll be in a...
I mean, you can just kind of tell who's fucked up and, who's got problems. And I don't understand. Like, everyone thinks that letting them have these tent cities and shit is compassionate somehow. I don't see how letting junkies who have serious problems, like if addiction is a medical condition, if it's a mental health issue, if it's a disease, you're letting people with diseases, you're just leaving them out on the street. This is where I get conspiratorial, and I think it's a communist plot to demoralize America so we can move the country further left. Because if you're compassionate, like lefties say they are, why are you leaving sick people out on the street to sleep on the sidewalk? You should get them in institutions. You should get them in hospitals, maybe state-run hospitals. I don't know. How about you give a little bit? I wonder, how much would it cost to fully fund state hospitals where we could put these people? Let me ask a question. Would it cost less than what we've given Ukraine? I bet you it would only cost a few $1 billion a year. I bet you we could have fully funded state hospitals for 100 years based on what we've done with Ukraine. We could. How about the money we've given Israel? I bet you we could house these homeless people, put them in hospitals, and even if they can't get better, at least they can't hurt anybody else, and at least they're not out on the street where they can get robbed or R-worded or anything else like that. So someone has to explain to me on their side, because I'm not compassionate towards the homeless. I get that. I understand that. But these people who claim they're compassionate towards the homeless, they're going to have to explain to me where the compassion is in letting these people sleep on the sidewalk.
Shelter tonight?
Well, let's hope yes.
The Supreme Court ruled that cities can now cite, fine, or jail these people, even if they have nowhere else to go.
We have the ability to now enforce the law.
Mayor London Breed introduced what she calls a very aggressive strategy. They issued around 25 citations in the first 2 weeks.
This is bullshit. They always had the ability to do this. what they're doing, and this is smart politically, these people who caused this fucking problem, they're now using the Supreme Court case as a convenient reason to go, oh, we wanted to do this the whole time. We just didn't have, permission from the Supreme Court. Remember, the same Supreme Court that they fucking hate for overturning Roe v. Wade, the same Supreme Court they think is illegitimate and totally trumped out. Now, all of a sudden, when it comes to these homeless people, they're totally fine. They fucked up. They couldn't say we fucked up, so we got to change course. So they used the Supreme Court as a smokescreen and said, oh, you guys had no idea. We actually wanted to stop these homeless encampments the whole time. We just weren't allowed to because the darn liberals on that Trump Supreme Court wouldn't let us. Come on.
You're criminalizing something that a lot of people can't help. They have no other choice.
And
oh, really? The guy who smokes crack and gets Narcan out of the fucking vending machine and goes to the needle exchange, that guy can't help it? I have compassion for someone who works a full-time job and lives in a liberal fuck city where rent control and everything else has jacked up the cost of living for honest, hardworking people. I have compassion for them. Let's be very honest. That is a small fucking percentage of the homeless population sleeping on the sidewalk in Coleman tents. A lot of the people who aren't on drugs and are working full-time are in shelters. A lot of the reason some people can't get into shelters is because most of them you have to be sober. LA decided you don't have to be sober. And now many of their homeless shelters are drug dens.
that would be the case if we weren't offering people a place to go inside.
They haven't offered you a shelter?
They said there's no opening for a shelter right now. There's no beds.
You need any plastic bags or anything for trash?
The city says no one from this morning's sweep ended up in a shelter. Not one.
Okay, but why? This is why I hate the media. This is why I don't trust them. Tell me why. Were all the shelters full, or were all these people strung out and shelters saved their beds because they do only have so many? They save their beds for people who aren't drinking or doing drugs. I would prefer it that way, especially if my tax dollars are funding it. So are these people being denied beds at homeless encampments because of the meanie bajinis in the California government? And I can't believe I'm defending the California government, especially London Breed and Gavin Newsom. Or are they being denied beds because they're high as a fucking kite?
This is the afternoon sweep. We're in Soma, south of Market. The issue is, this is the
Ironically, Soma, the thing that some of them are high on.
34th time the city has swept this area this year alone.
More than
Are we supposed to feel bad that these people lying on the sidewalk in the middle of the day, that they're not going to get a bed at a shelter? I don't want them to have a bed at a shelter. If somebody working 60 hours a week who can't afford a fucking apartment in that communist hellhole and has a small child with them, or somebody just got laid off from their job and they have a small child, I want them to have a fucking bed before this junkie sleeping in the middle of the afternoon. Good. Fuck them. I want the homeless shelters for people who want to get better. I don't want the homeless shelters so that people can just go lay down before they find their next fix.
4,000 people live on San Francisco's streets. There are fewer than 4,000 shelter beds, and most nights they're near full, with a wait list of over 100.
He's offering you a shelter bed?
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? Are you going to take it?
Yeah, I'm going to take it. But you know what? If it's something where it's cubicle-like, I won't do it, man. I won't do it. 'Cause I stayed in prison 20.
If it's something what? Hold on. I didn't understand what he said.
So what are you going to do? Are you going to take it?
Yeah, I'm going to take it. But you know what? If it's something where it's cubicle-like, I won't do it, man.
If it's chemical-like? I don't understand what he said. Maybe I have this wrong, and I'll check the chat later. But is he saying, like, if you can't have chemicals in your system, you won't do it? That would explain it. First of all, the guy's name is Frosty. You don't think he's doing coke or crack? His name's Frosty. You know, the snowman. Maybe he's got diamonds. Maybe he's a fucking blinged out homeless guy. I don't know. But like, this is why I hate the media. These fucking half-truths, these half stories, not telling us the full thing when you know what the truth is.
I won't do it because I stayed in prison 23 years. Do you really think I want to be closed up in a room with bars and shit in it? No, I don't think so. I'd rather sleep outside.
With bars and shit. You think I want to sleep in a building with bars and shit? Well, then you're fine sleeping outside. Well, guess what? It's illegal to sleep outside, so we'll bust you for that. I love that. I've been homeless for 23 years. First of all, you don't think any of that's your fault? Second of all, you've been homeless for 23 years. You won't sleep in a fucking shelter. You ever heard the term beggars can't be choosy?
Since the Supreme Court's decision, cities and towns in states across the country are now proposing, passing, and enforcing anti-camping laws. Across California, state authorities have started sweeping encampments.
I'm here on behalf of 40 million Californians that are fed up. I'm here because I'm one of them.
But more than 50 academics told the Supreme Court there's no evidence that criminalizing homelessness works.
In fact, there's a lot of evidence.
It's not about solving homelessness. It's about punishing people who are breaking the law and making their communities shitty.
That it's counterproductive.
Well, what we want to be able to do is use the penalties as a way to get people to commit to going indoors. That's part of our solution.
Chris, just visiting here at Jesse and Sick, got a place to live after a similar sweep. So it can work, this system.
Absolutely, if you just have to get the documents in order.
But
tragedy.
And you have to not be on fucking drugs and boozed and pilled out of your fucking head.
You just have to get the documents in order.
But
tragedies happen in these sweeps. A lot of people lose everything, things that they can't replace.
So I came back.
Like what, a Coleman tent? There'll be another one along shortly. Fucking steal one. It's San Francisco. They ain't calling the cops.
Back here to Jesse and 6th, 3 days later.
The unhoused people are back. The police are back. The city is back.
You've spent a lot of money from the city.
That's the other problem. California let this problem get so bad. San Francisco let this problem get so bad that now they're just playing whack-a-mole. That's all it is.
That same street, to me, that is the definition of madness.
But what I'm saying to you is the next option that we have for people who are refusing what we're offering is we will be citing.
Yep.
And you'll maybe in the next couple months take a look at our data and see whether or not this is working. And if it's working, we'll continue. If it's not, we need to pivot and to try something else.
Sure would have been nice if you would have done that when they started with these fucking homeless encampments. That would have been nice.
What's your plan? Where are you going to go?
Right around the corner.
Around the corner.
And then come back?
Yeah, later after they finish.
Great. So we're going to just go do the same shit. Oh, nothing gets me fired up quite like that homeless stuff. I'm really glad that our local government here kind of took a stand on that shit. A lot of, here in St. Cloud, we had homeless that were gathering in this one area. And some tents started popping up. And we're like, oh, fuck. And our mayor stood up and went, no, bust it down. And they did. And they said, we've got a homeless shelter here in town. You can go there or you can get fucked. You can go somewhere else. And they did. They either went to that shelter or they fucked off. Rusty Grammer says, Eric Church is killing it right now on live TV. Call me gay, but a tribute to the GOAT Toby Keith is good by me. Oh my God, does anyone have this Eric Church Toby Keith thing? Eric Church Toby Keith. 4 weeks ago. Damn it, this just happened on TV, then it's definitely not up yet. Fuck. I've gotten 3 texts from people that are saying, 3 listeners that are saying Eric Church is fucking killing it on TV right now. Shit. Buffalo Jockey with $2 says if they're working full-time, not paying rent, could easily save up money to live somewhere, then buy a fucking bus ticket to move to those places and get an apartment. That's a good point. That's a good point, man. I understand. Don't they have empty cattle cars they can move into, says Yankee. There's our compassionate audience. Citizen M says, I've been listening to Aaron for 3 years, and in that time, he has never learned what leftists are. Yeah, you're probably right. I'm probably full of shit. I'm probably just repeating shit I heard somewhere else. That's what these people who do political podcasts never tell you, is you're like, I'm just parroting shit that sounded good to me. I've got my own ideas. They're probably wrong. If you did them, our country would probably burn to death. By the way, we're almost done with our second drink. We're getting a little buzzed up tonight. Do you really want to end in 40 minutes? I don't think so. Streamlabs, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, PayPal. Wild Saffron says, hey, Aaron, without Nick's money, there's Kayla. What? Oh, you mean in the story? That's not very nice. That's not nice. Both of those girls have a chance to really live a full and happy life. And they're not doing it. They're being sucked in by a loser, by a guy who refuses to admit that he did wrong and put his family at risk. That's not good. I don't think any one of those three realized that even after I've left, I've tried to help. It's just that I've also shit on them. You got to drop your ego. Aaron's going to end up homeless after April spent all his money. She's definitely spent all the money she took from me. That probably didn't last long. Los Tejas Sympathizer says, or Synthesizer says, hit that goal or Aaron ends up on the street. Oh, boy. We're still at the point where if we don't hit the goal, Aaron just has to cover it. But I appreciate the effort. Los Tejas Synthesizer says, Aaron's already got his Jenka mix on point. Thanks, buddy. Nana's Clam says, that's why we love you, Aaron. You should read from the book of the toe. No hatred, my man. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. All right, let's get in and thank anyone who's thrown us a couple $2, $3. Von Kaiser with $10 says, I'm interested in stubby clit ice. I mean, look, you pour a drink the right way. It's you get stubby clit ice. It just happens. All right, guys, we are only 150 away from knocking it out tonight. Let's do it, because if we knock out that 150, we're watching April's court appearance from today. Which, by the way, I'm not going to put up with any bullshit. She looked good. She did look good today. I mean, the result was not good. And she's still fucked life-wise. And she's still making terrible fucking decisions. But she looks good, you know. She'd be a very good partner for a decent guy. She just has to meet a decent guy. I wasn't one. I got roped into a fucking drug den polycule. Nobody dragged me in it. Nobody grabbed me and like made me do it. I'm not saying I'm the guy. The guy I am now versus the guy I was in the drug den polycule days. The guy I am now doesn't want an April. But April has the ability to be someone people would want. Like good people would want. Not like toxic people like she's with now would want. But like good people. April's truck payment gifting a membership over on YouTube. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Poe says, every time I see panhandlers now, I think of steel toe. I say, sorry, bud. Saving it for the toe. Thank you. Wild Saffron says, sorry if I sound harsh, but the one thing I can't abide is a mother who neglects her children. I get that. I understand. You should be mad at me too. You should be mad at who I was while I was doing that stuff. I mean, not just my children either. I was lying with a married woman with 5 children in her home. Like, that's immoral. It's wrong. It's a bad thing I did. I'm not proud of the person I used to be. In fact, the further I get away from that person, the more I can comfortably express my shame about who I was. It's not cool. Like, there's nothing about what I did and what the 4 of us did that was fucking cool or good or awesome. It was bad. And it was disrespectful. And it was shitty to do to 8 children. Like, even if you take the drugs out of it, just the relationship part of it. It's disrespectful to an entire community. It's fucking disrespectful to a church. We went in and we defamed the name of God. We fucking blasphemized Christ. Blasphemized. I've drank too much. We've blasphemed Christ. I mean, we disrespected religion. We disrespected Nick and Kayla's extended family. I really like Kayla's stepdad. He's a solid dude. He really is just a good man. And every time I talked to him about the Vikings, or every time we talked about like history or anything like fun, we were having a good time, whatever, I was disrespecting him because of the shit I was doing that he didn't know about. Like, what we did was wrong, and I'd just like to hear somebody other than me fucking say it, you know? And you got to move on from that if you're going to save any vestige of who you were or who you could be. But there's only one person who wants to do that. And that's unfortunate. He knew you was fucking his daughter. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He's not a guy who would put up with that. He's a guy, like, I'm going to tell you, he's a godly man. And I wouldn't be surprised if he hates my fucking guts. And that really sucks because I really did like that guy. He was a good dude. And I'm sure I fell short in his eyes. 100% I fell short in everybody's eyes. That pastor was reading Bible passages because of us. Fuck that. I won't even say because of us because they won't even acknowledge it. He was reading it because of me and the shit I did. I won't even include the three of them in it since they don't have the fucking balls. But it's the shit I did, you know? I disrespected all those people. Honky says, whose cheeks were more enjoyable to clap, Kayla's or April's? So you're not taking in any of this, are you? We're not taking in any of this. Guys, we're almost 2 drinks down tonight. I don't think you want this train to pull into the station. Let's keep her going. What are we, $1.50 away? Hammer it out, and then we'll watch the Qourt thing. I haven't seen it yet. Hulkamash a Baby with $4.99 says, oh, here we go. Movie quotes. I like this. He's making me guess movie quotes. $4.99 from Hulkamash a Baby says, God will understand, Aaron. And if he doesn't, he is not God. And you need not worry. Name that movie, bitch. Orlando Bloom as Balian of Ibelin in Kingdom of Heaven. If we burn the bodies, their souls can never cross cleanly to the other side. God will understand, my Lord. And if he does not, then he is not God. And we need not worry. That movie was full of so much fucking blasphemy. It's ridiculous. You would have thought they were running a cover. Like, compared to the shit they actually believed back then, oh my God. All of them would have been hanged for heresy. Talking the way they were. Wild Saffron says, you listened and your inner voice screamed, wake up, you idiot. Get the fuck out of this insanity. Yes. We shouldn't drink on these streams. You know, like when April goes to court and shit like that, and I got to dredge all this stuff back up. You know, when Show Me goes on about this stuff, he can be funny and be silly and weird. We have a couple of drinks, and the two Aarons kind of blend a little bit. You know? But my kids saved me from all that. Because it got to the point where if we were going to keep this thing going, I had to buy that house. I had to sell this house. I had to buy the one that's currently for sale. And I had my wife saying, this can save us. This can rescue us. It's like, woman, we've already went back and disrespected our vows. We've disrespected each other. You know, I even told her at one point, it's like, I told her at one point, and this is when we were in the middle of it, I said, I fell in love with another woman right in front of you, and that's so fucking disrespectful, and I feel so shitty for that. That was before I left. And what I would have had to do was I would have had to buy that house, move my family in. And you think that the other parent in that situation would have sat still while her children were exposed to that life? No fucking chance. I thought about that shit long and hard. Do I put my kids in this situation? I remember talking to my oldest and her going, talking about that possibility. She goes, Dad, I would never want to live there. It's not fun. You're the only one who ever comes out to check on us or see what we're doing. And I said, that to me right there was like, I'm not doing this. How much I'm putting a governor on my life, how much I'm limiting my life by doing this. I'm not going to do it. So I could sit here all day and tell you that, oh, it was my good judgment. And I finally woke the fuck up and all that. My kids saved my life. My kids saved my ass when it came to that thing. And I would hope, I really hope, because like having a throuple is not a life any child deserves. Watching that, because all their relationships are going to be fucked up. And kids know more than you think they do. And it kind of breaks my heart a little bit to watch 3 people do what they did to 5 children, 8 children, if you really think about it, and have no impetus to take responsibility or change. or move on and start a new life after what they did, after what we did to 5 kids. They got taken out of the fucking home. The cops broke down the door because of what their parents did. And you're not admitting fault for that. And you're not changing because of that. Then to me, you have no soul. To me, you're dead inside. Whatever made you human is gone. The minute doing that to 5 kids doesn't shake you the fuck up and go, we need to be man and wife. Or we need to split up and we need to try and do this some other way. It's really fucking gross. It's really bad. The 2 gay errands inside you start doing butt stuff when you drink, says Los Tejas Synthesizer. Dig Bick says, how many months were you there again? 5. 5, I would say. Honky says that April queef squirt stained bathroom was the deal break. That's not what that is. That's not what that is. Citizen M says, I hope that none of April's negativity affected the children's relationship with their real mother because she's an amazing woman. My daughter said something the other day. She said something the other day, and I'm not going to get in trouble for this. I've asked for permission, and we're working on new shit. But my daughter said something the other day. She said, Dad, watching you and Mom communicate and talk and laugh when you talk to each other, and she's only 10, so she doesn't know how to say this properly. She goes, I feel something in here, and it like flutters, and it like, I don't remember the words she used, but she goes, and it feels really good, and it makes me happy. And if you hear that, and that doesn't reaffirm and invigorate you to keep going on the path you're going on, then again, you have no soul. You're dead inside. You're done. Poe says, Steel Toe they are always watching, so set the example that you want them to live. As for the viewers, I hope it's all genuine. We've been fooled before. Cheers, bro. Cheers, buddy. Honky says, that's called heartburn, Aaron. She has heartburn. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Honky says, April got a ready-made family and all she had to do was humble herself instead of being in party home mode. I wasn't right for April. She wasn't right for me. Thank God we got to figure that out early and move on. I just hope she can move on is all, because she really deserves a good life. If she repents and does the right things, she deserves, man, I think she could have such a good life. I think she could be such a good person. I think she could be a positive influence on people if she got the fuck out of there and started making the right choices. She's not, I didn't fall for someone and get tricked. I made bad decisions. She made bad decisions. We made them together and we destroyed each other. And you got to rebuild after that. Anonymous says, thoughts, Aaron? Has Nick been going through a midlife Baldo crisis? Internet fame, weird internet friends, YouTube shekels, cosplay, e-thoughts, Mustang. Nick always had the money to have the Mustang. Nick always had the money. It's a trust fund. I'm sure it pays out in increments. I'm sure it pays out over time. But I think it's more simple than that. Nick couldn't handle success. Nick never had success his entire life. You got to remember that. Nick's parents funded everything. He's working at a bank. And then decided one day, he's incredibly privileged and he got the chance to say, fuck it, I want to be a lawyer. There's a lot of kids living in a lot of neighborhoods. There's a lot of people in their 30s. Nick was in his 30s when he decided to do this. There's a lot of kids in their 30s that can't just snap their fingers and go, I want to be a lawyer. That's a privileged position. You should honor that and respect that. And he just treated it like a hobby. And he didn't get cases, and he didn't commit to being a lawyer, and he was Mr. Shortcut. And the minute that shortcut paid off, boom, and it was the trial streams, he rode that shit out. But because it was all a hobby, and it wasn't a passion, and it wasn't something he wanted to work on, he just rode it until the wheels fall off. And then when he got famous, he thought, well, this will always be. He got to be like an athlete who signs a big contract. He went, I'll just keep doing whatever I do, and this will always be the case. And it's free money. It'll just keep coming in. And it didn't, and he didn't have anything to pivot to. And then he started using this money to fund hedonistic lifestyle. There was no living beyond his means because he already had enough money to be successful. And then he became successful. And that success window was very short-lived, and it closed very quickly. And now we're seeing the result of that. That's the difference between having it given to you and earning it. Dig Bick says, do you know how many years have the Ricadas been at that lifestyle? Did they tell you? Yeah, around when Nick turned 40. So about almost 3 years now. Nana's Clam says, can we crowdsource drinking goals? I'm loving drinking with great leader Aaron, but he isn't keeping up. Well, we'll get there. Citizen M says, Aaron's a real one. He gets excited and plays around with kayfabe, but there's a real motherfucker in there. Respect. Cheers, mate. Brittany Boo says, how much goal left? I want to watch Qourt. 145 away, although we do have a few people to thank. So we'll get in here. We're drinking tonight, and we're sharing some feelings, I guess. Ronald Knitska with $10 says, motion denied, motherfucker. And Adam with $5 says, this is a fake dono. Thank you, buddy, for the fake dono. That puts us at 130 for this evening. Thank you very, very much. 383 Novocaine with $2 says, you can't be a swinger if you have a conscience. I agree with that. Can't be a swinger if you're a parent either. Doesn't work. Can't be a parent or can't be a swinger if you want to be monogamous, obviously. You know? Jeremy said, becoming a member for 5 months. Why does April keep photos of her exes on Instagram? I don't think that's that weird. What are you supposed to do? Every time a relationship ends, go in and delete a bunch of fucking photos? No. It sounds like a pain in the ass. I get it. Nana's Clam says, it's pretty fitting that Aaron's jersey is number 1 because Aaron is number 1 to me. To answer your question, Brittany Boo, how much of the goal is left? 130 is what's left for tonight. So thank you guys very much. If you want to contribute, all the links are in the chat. We appreciate your generosity. Boy, that got real for a minute, didn't it? That got fucking real. Johnny sent me a text and says cubicle-like. I don't know what that means. I don't know what cubicle-like means. Ryan the Garbage Man says, we all fall short because we are imperfect humans. Knowing that and getting help to get better puts you on the path to seek the divine. Humility is a good teacher, but we will always be tested. You're still a good man and devoted father. I'm better than I've been in a long time. I still do feel quite a bit of shame at what it took to get me there. And I do feel this is my message to Lawyer White, Mr. White, he can't keep getting away with it. And Nick and all these people who are like, oh, my client, he hates this guy and the other guy hates him. I don't. It's frustrating to watch a father care more about himself than his children because I've been there and it's a bad place and it'll send you to hell and you shouldn't fucking do it. Kiki is going live at 9 with April as a thumbnail. I'm really curious how she is going to spin this against you now. Kiki's gone, really. This person writes, tell them all that I say hi the best. Fucking all these people with the text that just say hi. Thank you. I will say this, since we're having serious moments right now, Keanu is not a serious person. Situations like this call for serious people. Keanu's not a serious person. Keanu's, it's something worse than grifting. So, best of luck, right? Wild Saffron says, Kiwi Farms off-track betting has 3-1 odds Nick drunk streams tonight. Thoughts, Aaron? I'm drunk streaming. We're having a good time. I'm 1.5 deep. That's drunk to me. I'm a fucking lightweight. You kidding? All right, we got 18 minutes left in regulation. Let's see if we can't make a little bit of scratch tonight. and do a half hour of overtime, and we're going to be watching. I'll pour another drink, and we'll watch April's court appearance from today. And now that I'm a couple deep, how do I feel about watching it? I don't know. I've seen screenshots. I've seen the heckling clip. She looks good. It's when she looks good, you just want to push her and go, now just get the fuck out of there, you know? And you've got I'm sure the state of Minnesota is going to go, and Candy-Ojai County, they're going to go, this all goes away. Just say what you said to the cops. Go on the stand and say what you said to the cops. That's the right thing to do. April, if you do that, you might push these two into being better parents, being better people. And if you really care about these people, April, don't you want them to become closer as spouses so that they can raise those 5 kids together? Because with you in the picture in the relationship, those kids are going to have a bad upbringing. You could make them be better partners to each other. I feel terrible about what I've done to their relationship. Feel bad about it because it was wrong. You and I are done, and you and I didn't have kids. And so we can walk away from it relatively unscathed. But we hurt people. And we hurt people going forward. And we created scar tissue that now other people are going to have to take off because of us. And I know you can't take that away, but what you can do is stop hurting and stop creating more. That's what you can do. Brittany Boo says, fake dono on Venmo. All right, let's go check that out and say thank you. I do have a new phone, so I don't get all of those. I'm sorry. Brittany with $5 says, all rise. Thank you. Oh, she wants to see the court thing tonight. All right, 125 away from this evening. So we'll have some fun watching the court thing. We really will, but I don't know. It's there's part of it that really kind of skeeves me out. 125 is the number for this evening. Wild Saffron says it was pretty unremarkable. April barely spoke. The end with the trolls was the high point. I was told that people had that April's facial expressions as they made the rulings were interesting. Keanu is a friendship slayer, says Citizen M. Kiki is an unwatchable mental case, says Sam Show. Anana asks, Keanu seething because she has no bridesmaids. Chad Buzamak says, fucking lightweight clown. All right, fine. This is what you get, Chad Buzamak. This is a $20,000 drink to some people and a $50,000 drink to others. I'm too deep. I'm a piece of shit. Wild Saffron, Digbix says the hearing is boring and quick. The only thing kind of interesting is the trolls that speak at the end when they're not supposed to. Oh, boy. $1 from that person. Do your worst. Anonymous says the only thing unremarkable about that hearing was the quality of Lord Baldo's live stream camera. No, I think it was purposely blurred so that they could say, actually, you guys, how do you know it was my studio? Because it was blurred and it just it was a background. I want to say that that's just a funny, stupid, retarded impression, but I could see that being something he actually says. Unfortunately. All right, guys. We got time for one more little story. We can rap at you about that for a little bit, and then we can try to knock out the rest of this goal. Oh, my goodness. Let's go. Let's say thank you to Sandra. Sandra with $15 says, came for the drama, stayed for the toe. Thank you. If you're new to the show and you want to hang out for a little bit, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate that. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, you cowards. Hit the subscribe button. We appreciate it, whether it's Rumble or YouTube. We appreciate the crowd tonight. 110 is the number. We get it. You think she looked good. You're overdoing it. New chick is bound to get pissy. Been saying it too often. The new chick is the one who said it to me first. Oh, my goodness. Sam Show says, I mean, they could have pointed the camera at a different wall in the same room at least. Yeah, you could have done it in a kitchen, in a living room, anywhere else. Chad Buzamak says, let's get another drunk stream. The $20,000 to $50,000 drink night seems like the appropriate night. Drink up, pansy. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. All right, what do we have here? We've got, the Robert F. Kennedy, Cheryl. We got this, guys. You want to do another half hour, don't you? What are we, like 110 away from doing another half hour? I can't remember Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s wife's name. Cheryl Teagues. No. Cheryl Smith. No. Cheryl, fucking Curb Your Enthusiasm. I'm not scrolling down to see it. Cheryl Wilson. God fucking damn it, I know this. And I'm not looking at anybody's chats. I'm going to get this. Cheryl Hines. Cheryl Hines, suck my ass. I knew it. Nana's Clam says, no, seriously, though. I say hi the bestest. Nana loves you. Thank you. Cheryl Hines has broken her silence about, sort of, about Robert F. Kennedy Jr. endorsing Donald Trump because, some really unfair shit's been happening to her. RFK Jr. endorses Donald Trump. My uncle goes fucking crazy, I'm sure, because he's been saying that the Kennedys and the Trumps are related and they're uniting to fight the black hats and they're going to expose the Dunn babies and all that shit. They're fighting against the Democrats. Now it's starting to come true. That's kind of fucked up and weird. But a lot of people in Hollywood especially have been like shitting on Cheryl Hines for what her husband endorsed. It's like she didn't do that. And she's made it very clear that his politics have very little to do with her politics, and they are two different people. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. addressed this with TMZ today. Let's take a look.
Was involved in this, as the reports go, that she may have even met with Trump and her husband and gave some encouragement.
I would say that Cheryl's reaction was the opposite of encouraging. On the night that President Trump was shot, we learned from his associates that he wanted to have this conversation with me. She urged me to do that, and she did that out of compassion.
Well, that's cool. So she was like, after Trump got shot, she's like, you're a Kennedy. You should talk to him. It makes sense. He wants to talk to you. You'd understand it. His fucking dad got murdered.
It was an emotional night for our country. It was an emotional night for everyone. And she made the right judgment. She did attend a meeting, with a subsequent meeting with President Trump. She attended that meeting mainly to make sure that there were no hasty decisions made at it.
So Cheryl Hines went with her husband to be like, don't you fucking agree to anything with this asshole. I get that. I understand. I get it.
This has been a really difficult issue for Cheryl. This is the opposite of what she would want to do. She went along with it because she loves me and she wanted to be supportive of me.
That's sweet.
But it was not something that she ever encouraged. I would say it was her trepidation about this and discomfort with this was, I would say, were the dominant feelings.
You know what? That's really fucking sweet of RFK Jr. to do that for his wife, too, because he knows she's getting shit publicly. She knows that Hollywood's shitting all over her and fans are shitting all over her. And he comes out publicly and he goes, she hated this. She didn't like this decision, but she loves me, and so she supports me, although she doesn't agree with what I've done. That's really fucking cool. And, you know, if that's true, then those two have a really remarkable adult relationship. If that's the case. Good for those two, man.
There could be different reasons for trepidation. Is it accurate to assume the trepidation is that she does not support Donald Trump?
Yes. She's a lifelong Democrat. And the idea of me supporting Donald Trump as president was like I said, it's something that she would have never imagined, that she never wanted in her life, that I think causes her a lot of discomfort. And,
wow,
you know, I'm very grateful to her for giving me personally support, but she was not somebody who was clamoring for this move. I would say the opposite was true.
Good for him. I think that's awesome. That actually gives me hope for people like during this election, because there's going to be a lot of married couples who disagree on like who to vote for. Be like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Cheryl Hines. They seem to have figured their shit out. They get it. I like that. Good for those two. Foley with $1.99 says, let's get Ralph drunk tonight. No, I think Ralph does more than just booze. Roots Calhoun with $1.99 says, Bleep needed a supportive husband like RFK, toe. Ew, motherfucker. Wild Saffron says, laughing my ass off, Aaron is getting lit. The Clippers are going to be up all night. Hopefully. Wild Saffron says, Aaron, drink some water. You need to slow down. Or as PPP says, whoa, buddy. Dig Bick says, piece of shit, Rumble is freezing up on me. Got to watch on stupid YouTube. Wow. RFK Jr. and Cheryl Hines are swingers, says Los Tejas sympathizers. Well, way to take the fucking romance out of it, dickhead. All right, guys. We got to knock out the rest of this goal or we're done. I'll pour another drink and we'll do 30 more minutes and we'll watch this court thing. We'll watch it tonight if we knock out that last 110. There's the links in the chat. I don't know why I'm pointing over here. Rumble, YouTube, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, Venmo, PayPal, Streamlabs. $110. I have not seen this yet. It will be the first time I've seen it. If you guys throw in enough, I'll reach into the ice bucket. I'll pour one more. We'll have a nice headache for tomorrow morning's show, and we'll have some fun with this. What do you say? 5-minute warning to get this thing knocked out. Brittany Boo says, come on, pores. That's what I say. That's what I'm going to be saying tomorrow when I'm sweating out booze. Come on, pores. Nana's Clam says, come on, Aaron, you should FaceTime with me and have some together love. No. MSO says, I want overtime. See, everybody wants overtime. Well, there's nothing stopping you from getting overtime. Everybody throw in a couple of bucks. We'll knock this thing out, and we'll have a great overtime filled with April's court hearing, talking about it, being fair about it, the whole deal. Let's go. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats. We're down to 110 at the moment. Oh, thank you. $15 coming in from, I want to make sure there's not a screen name attached to this, so I'm not giving out names. Adam with $15. Thank you very much, buddy. 95 away from tonight. We're in the double digits. Thank you very much. Nana's Clam says shots together. I said we should have some shots together. Oh, okay. Well, that's different. Chad Buzamok says the one-time MSO is cheering for the win must mean we ain't getting OT. Uh-oh. Sam Show says MSO is broken. Send a new one. Right? Gannon Jesus Christ with $9.99. Thank you, pal. 90 away from calling this thing a win tonight and watching that wonderful footage. Everybody throw in. We're about 4 minutes away from decision-making time, whether or not I'm going to bed or we're doing an extra half hour, pouring a drink, and doing this thing. $90 away. All the links are in the chat. Streamlabs, PayPal, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, Venmo. Gifted memberships, those work as well, too. 90 away and 3.5 minutes to go. Can we do it? Can it be done? $90 left. Who's your boy? Who's your baby? Who's your daddy? What do you want to do here? What do you want to do? Do you want to have some fun? Do you want to play around? Do you want to frolic? Let's frolic. Adam with $10 says fake dono. Oh, fake donos count like real ones. $80 away from tonight. Oh, let's make it the rest of the way. Who else has got a couple of bucks for the old toe? $80 away from making it work. More than 2.5 minutes left. We're not even at the 2-minute warning yet, guys. You keep it up at that pace. We got this thing hammered out. 5 gifted memberships from Rust Belt. Thank you very much. $70 away from calling this thing a win tonight. Thank you, Rust Belt. Very sweet of you. 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go for tonight's program. Digbick says, let's become part of LawTube tonight. It's going to be slightly buzzed up LawTube. And I am not qualified to discuss this. Are any of the good LawTubers on tonight? Because if we don't knock out this $70, I might just watch them. Michael with $20 says, for the old toe. Thank you, Michael. Where does that put us? $50 away for the evening. Oh, my goodness. Thank you, guys. Nana's Clam says, come on, everybody, rally up. Well, we're only $50 away, and we've got a minute and a half left. Do we pour another one and stick around for a half hour and we watch this goddamn thing? Or do we say, hey, maybe it's time for bed, Aaron. Maybe it's time to go to sleep. Maybe you've had enough. Let's see, $50 away, 1 minute and 30 seconds to go. Wild Saffron says Sean is live right now. Chad Buzamok says, how is it only $10 when you get 25 in memberships? 5 gifted memberships is $250 a piece because it's the low-level membership that I get $250 from. But thank you for keeping me on my toes. I appreciate it. All right, $50 away. Can we knock out the rest of it? Now, this technically does mean that we're doing overtime. I just want to see if we can knock this 50 out at first so we don't have to keep talking about it throughout that extra 30 minutes. Thank you very much. Spring with $10 says April looked good. I agree. I think April looked good too. I think anyone attacking April for a physical appearance is being unfair. I don't think that's well, I guess everybody's entitled to their opinion, but still. Yeah. All right, guys, 30 seconds to go. Can we knock out that last 40? Before we start overtime here, let's hit that last 40. Streamlabs, PayPal, Super Chats, Venmo, Rumble Rants, etc., etc., etc. Here we go. 15 seconds to go. We'll give the countdown from 10. We'll knock out this last 40. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, buddy. Knock out that last 40. We'll call it a W. I'm not drinking more till we hit the 40. I don't want to get all blitzed up and then come up $40 short. So we'll watch the video. You guys chip in. If you've got questions, super chat them. If you've got comments, Rumble rant them, PayPal them, Venmo them. That's the questions that we'll answer until we hit that $40. Okay. So I'm playing this one from Greg Edwards' YouTube channel. Got to give credit where credit is due. Nana's Clam says, bro, all joking aside, I've never donoed a thing, but I would pitch in. Well, that technically doesn't make any sense now, does it? You've never donoed anything, but you'd pitch in. This seems like the conundrum of all time. All right. Knock out that 40. I'm going to pour myself a drink. Otherwise, I'm going to get too nervous. Here we go. Let's fire up this court hearing and watch my ex-wife, April, facing 5th-degree felony drug possession charges. Because now, if you missed the background to this, when the Rekieta house got raided, as it should have been. By the way, James with $5 over on Venmo says Keanu was going to have Chrissy on, but she's a little hoarse. That's why. John with $1. Thank you very much. All right, $35 away from hammering out today. Let's go ahead and update that real quick. Buffalo Jockey who says hit the 40 so Aaron can drink his 40. That's not very nice. $35 away from tonight. Thank you guys very much. Let's keep that streak alive. We appreciate your generosity. All right. Off we go. Let's take a look, take a listen at the court hearing. So when the house got raided, they charged April with the same second degree that they were charging the other two with. April said some things to the cops that made the cops believe that maybe April would work with them. So they removed her charges and they cut her loose. They let her go. And they probably, this is my speculation, they probably told her, hey, you stay away from there. You cooperate with us. These charges will never see the light of day. Now, someday I will tell you why I believe the police said that to her. I do have reason to believe that they said that to her and that they made good on their promise that I believe they made or may have made. When she went back to them and they could confirm it, they put fifth-degree charges on her. Now, they didn't put second-degree charges on there because she doesn't own the home. But there were debit cards and a credit card of hers that were active and had been used recently that tested positive for cocaine, had cocaine on them. So they slapped her with a fifth-degree felony charge. So today was her big hearing on the fifth-degree felony charge. Her lawyer had filed a motion to dismiss the whole thing, basically saying this is all horseshit. Oh, by the way, thank you to Jacob for the $10. He says, you read what others had done and you took the next step. You didn't earn the knowledge for yourselves, so you don't take any responsibility for it. You read what others had done and you took the next step. You didn't earn the knowledge for yourselves, so you don't take any responsibility for it. I don't know what that means. But I know we're $25 away. Thank you very much for that, Jacob. I appreciate your contribution. $25 away. So this was the court hearing today. I do believe, for full context, that Nick tried to tell April that the dismissal was going to work. You got nothing to worry about. Because remember, Nick's shitting bricks because April is going to be pressured now to confess and testify and all this other shit. Nick's still fucked without her testimony, but they're still going to try to get it because why not run up the score on this guy? Well, he needs to make sure that she's not snitching. So he's told her, this is all going to work. You're going to be fine. Well, there's a spoiler alert in here. Before we go to anything, $50 from Ron Knitska. Let's have a drink. Another win for the toe. And we're $25 ahead for tomorrow morning. Thank you so much, Ron Knitska, for coming in hot with the $50. I appreciate it. All right, that's what I was waiting for. Knock this whole thing out. Let's have some goddamn fun. Let's watch this thing with a drink in my hand. Early Monday morning till Friday at 5. Man, I work, but I don't climb. Boss man can stick that overtime up his can. All I want to do is put a drink in my hand. Fill it up. I'll throw it down. I'm about to tear a new one in this old town. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm a rocket man. All you got to do is put a drink in my hand. Ooh. All right, here we go. Stir it up with the Sharpie because I'm a little buzzed up, so I'm losing some of my dignity and pride. Is Sean streaming right now? I just sucked on the show. I'm a fucking gay. Is Sean streaming right now? We should watch this with Sean. Shouldn't we? I want to watch this with Sean. I want to watch this goddamn court hearing with Sean so when I have questions for him, he can answer. Is potentially criminal on right now? Atomic Ray says, you don't deserve that, Woodford, too gay. I'm a fancy man. I like a little sweetness in my booze. Hello. I usually hate your song talking, but you deserve this victory lap. Hey, let me clarify something. I do not see any of this as a victory. I see this as, do I see it as a little bit of a victory? I don't know. I feel like that's the ugly part of me going for a ride. I don't think I see it as a victory. What I want is I want to know if Sean is interested in watching this with me. Or if he's already started watching it, then fuck it. Let's go ahead and do this. Go into Sean's chat and tell him that I said I think he's a threat to democracy. All right, here we go. April's court hearing. Greg Edwards' channel. Go follow Greg Edwards.
This is arraignment. Ms. Imholt, you're charged with one.
By the way, this is the judge that Nick said had pussy coming out of her liquor coming out of her pussy, not pussy coming out of her liquor. I mean, you got pussy on your tongue. Lesbo. So this was the judge that Nick said had liquor coming out of her pussy. on the famous drunk stream.
Count of
No, I'm sorry, Coke stream. This is the drunk stream.
possession of controlled substance, a felony violation of Minnesota statute section 152.025, subdivision 2, paragraph 1, and subdivision 4, paragraph B, maximum penalty 5 years imprisonment, a $10,000 fine, or both. Ms. Imholt, you have the right to remain silent and not submit to police interrogation.
And this time you should probably listen. I'm sorry. By the way, Kristen Pierce looks like a really nice lady. April's lawyer looks like a nice guy too. And see, I told you, April looks nice. She got herself done up for court.
Anything you say may be used against you in this or any subsequent proceeding. You have the right to counsel in all proceedings, including police lineups and interrogations. You have the right to be represented by an attorney of your own choosing at your own expense. However, if you demonstrate indigence, then an attorney will be appointed at public expense. You have the right to communicate with defense counsel, and a continuance will be granted if necessary to permit this. You have the right to a trial before the court or a jury. Mr. Gallagher has submitted a...
What's wrong? What's Nick's fucking problem with this lady? She seems fine. She seems like a normal judge. Is it just you know what it is? He's a narcissist. She ruled against him. She's a woman. He doesn't like that. And she ruled against him, so she's got to be bad. She seems fine. Like, if all these people who seem like they're stark, raving, reasonable people keep telling you you're a fuck up, maybe you should listen.
Certificate of representation. Mr. Gallagher, you've also submitted a motion to dismiss, and it's your motion.
I like that. The lawyer's like, yeah, I just figure I'd file something to say, fuck it, let's all go home. Might as well, right? Oh, we can't hear you. You're like Forrest Gump after the general unplugged the amp with all the microphones. Bro, we can't. No, now you go. No, you.
And as outlined in that rule and in the comment to that rule, if the facts alleged in the complaint do not.
What the fuck? Who's running this goddamn show? Is this because it's boomers and it's Candy, Ojai County? And they Nick thinks these are people who are going to be hip enough to listen to his re-uploaded fucking compressed file argument. These people don't know how to get a guy's voice on a Zoom chat. They're going to be like, does video play when I hit play? Does it look like Nick? All right, the video's good. You muted him again. Dude, if I were Nick, I'd go on stream tonight. I'd drink a quart of gin. And then I'd go on stream and I'd say, this is a fucking conspiracy. April's lawyer was silenced because they're trying to turn her against me, and it's not okay. Mostly because I just want to watch that. What the fuck, dude? What? Detect a speaker. What? This is a fucking clown show. Is this real? Is this how the fucking hearing actually went? Or is this guy fucking up?
Second time it says she was located in the master bedroom.
Nope, I don't believe that this is real. I'm going to Alyssa clips. Fuck that. I feel like Greg Edwards fucked this up. I refuse to believe that this is how it went. Alyssa clips. Let's see how my girl did. Wait a minute. But there was a Rumble Alyssa clips that somebody had up. What, can Alyssa not post on YouTube? What the fuck? Let's go to my history. I feel like this guy fucked up. Here we go. This is what I wanted. Here.
The appearance with 1 month imprisonment. You have the right to communicate with defense counsel, and a continuance will be granted if necessary to permit this.
The complaint. Looked at the complaint. I'm asking the court to dismiss the complaint today based on Rule 17.06, Subdivision 2, Paren 2, Paren D, and Subdivision 3. And as outlined in that rule and in the comment to that rule, if the facts
I want to light this
alleged in the complaint do not constitute an offense, then the complaint should be dismissed, and that can be raised at any point in the proceedings, including today.
This is bullshit. I thought that, when does this guy smash watermelons? I thought this was the guy. I was told he was going to smash watermelons and cream corn and do fun wordplay jokes. Is that, did I come to the wrong Gallagher show? Fuck.
The complaint, the probable cause section, I believe, is about 2.5 pages long. It mentions the defendant's name. There, I believe I put it in my motion, but in writing, but it's 5 times her name is mentioned.
Now, Kiwi Farms says it's mentioned 6 times, and the one time he didn't include it was when Kayla said she was the live-in nanny. And I'll be honest, judging by how often they've been right, I trust the farms more than I trust this guy.
The first time it says she was located in the home. The second time it says she was located in the master bedroom. Third time it says 2 credit cards listed to the defendant were found. And then it says the fourth time it mentions her name. It says her purse was located in a hallway between the master bedroom leading to the attached bathroom.
That bathroom where they did all the coke. Here's what's fucked up. So, like, when I was there, they only did the coke in the bathroom, except when they brought, like, bullets places and, like, did a little tootski, right? Or Kayla had this little tray that she named Trey that she kept in her purse, and she would take that out. I did a little bump ski from Trey on Nick's birthday. Did way too much. Way too much. Because I didn't, I wasn't experienced. And, like, they would only do it in the bathroom. And then when they got arrested, and I read that, April had her cards on the nightstand and there was coke all over them, and they were doing coke from the nightstand, I was like, wow, they got more brazen after I left. That's interesting.
And that a co-defendant indicated, and the homeowner indicated that the defendant was at the home visiting at the time of the search warrant execution. Mere presence is not enough.
Hold on. SP, did you go upstairs so you can listen on your phone? Ah, I see. She doesn't like listening down here because she can't hear the other shit. If I smoke this cigar tonight, am I a disgusting piece of shit? Okay, fair enough.
To support a possession charge, there's no allegation that she possessed any drugs. And so we're asking that the court dismiss the charge.
Ms. Pierce.
I've heard your suggestion. I'm going to listen to Miss Pierce, and then I'm going to kindly tell you to go fuck yourself, and we're going to continue. I like this,
Your Honor, Ms. Imholt was found.
Mrs. It's either Mrs. Imholt or Miss Anderson. I really wish they'd use Anderson. Is this like a technicality thing? Like, because she was charged as Imholt, she still has to be Imholt for the rest of this thing? Fuck. Don't worry, April. I don't like it any more than you do. That's one thing her and I can agree on. We don't like each other. See, now, if Nick's lawyer would have said the defendant, or if he were to say this defendant and her ex-husband don't like each other, I would say that's accurate. Nick, Nick's a goof. He's a silly goose. He's a fuck up.
In the room where the drugs were found, she's only being charged with the drugs that were found immediately on top of her credit cards, which...
Exactly. Those are her possessions. She possesses it. The cocaine that's on top of her credit cards, also her possession. If my hand is out and you put a cherry in my hand... By the way, me being fucking shit-faced and trying to tell you guys legal shit should be the funniest thing you got. I hope everybody watches this and goes, what a goddamn retard. But if my hand is sitting there and you put a cherry in it, just because that cherry isn't part of my body doesn't mean I'm not possessing it. She had coke on her shit. If you have something inside your purse, you're possessing it. Just because you're not holding on to it. Your Honor, my client wasn't physically carrying powdered cocaine around the house. Therefore, how could it be in her possession? It was all over her shit.
Which were active and not expired. One was a bank card And her purse was found in the master bedroom suite, which between the master bedroom and the bathroom. And she was in the room when law enforcement executed the search warrant, and the drugs were out in the open on top of her immediate possessions with the rest.
If you guys can see, April is blinking like a motherfucker. Now I know what people are talking about. She was a blinky motherfucker. If she was, I mean, if April was a character in Pac-Man, you know what she'd be? Blinky.
Rest of the contents of her purse also in that room. While mere presence is not enough, that does show that she was in the room and creates a joint possession that she was using, or at least with one of the homeowners in that bedroom where the drugs were out in the open, on top of literally on.
Quit looking at Nick and pay attention to the prosecutor. Trust me, you're going to look over at him next time, and he's still going to be 42, coked out, and ugly. Nothing's going to change. I know that you keep looking over there going, maybe my mistakes will have been fixed by themselves, and he'll be more attractive. It's not going to happen, sweetheart.
On top of her property, of her bank cards.
Truth is a bitch, homeboy.
For today's purposes, I'm denying the motion without prejudice. I think the motion is not as simple as the defense filing would make it seem, considering Ms. Pierce's take on the evidence, and that the motion to dismiss would be more appropriate for a Rule 11 motion where the parties could...
You know what, though? I'm looking at April up in the corner. That's kind of sad. Like, she's blinking a bunch. She's holding back tears. You know, I talk about, like, her being 50-50. There's 50% her trying to be a bad bitch right now, and then there's the other 50% that's probably a little scared. It's never been in this situation before and wants to cry. And that's really unfortunate, because there's 50% of her that would do the right thing and get the fuck out of there and go restart her life. And then there's the other 50% that's taken over, and that's the reason she's here.
Dive in a little deeper to present the court with the full flavor of the evidence. And so for today's purposes, it's denied. And Mr. Gallagher, would you like to combine Rule 5 and Rule 8 today?
Her eyes go down as if she understands. And then her eyes come back up and she goes, I have to put my face on for the world now. And you just want to look at her and go, no, keep your eyes down. Live in that moment. Talk to that person for a second. Figure out what the fuck they're doing. And then, I can't. She's got too much Nick. You know, there's too much Nick there where it's like, nope, I got to own the farms, or I've got to, not let the internet see me weak or whatever. It's like, no, that's fucking pride talking, man.
Yes.
All right. Are you waiving reading of the complaint, deferring entry of a plea, and demanding an omnibus hearing?
Yes.
We're omnibusing. That's what that means, boys and girls. We are omnibusing again. Omnibus 2 Electric Kokaloo. That's what we're getting. Omnibusing 2. And then later in October, we're getting Omnibusing 3. Kayla's a crowd.
And are you wanting the contested omnibus hearing right away? Or do you want to be on the uncontested block first?
I think
She looks sad as fuck, dude. She looks fucking sad. You don't want to be here. But here's the problem. You showed up in Nick's basement when they're filing a motion to get rid of the charges because you claim you were just visiting. You've done this to yourself. You want to, the man you ought to be mad at is Al Stump. You ought to be looking in the mirror and realizing you did this to yourself. Not only that, the people whose house you're in did this to you too. They didn't give a fuck about you. They didn't give a shit about you. I mean, if you're mad about this, if you're upset, if you're sad, if you're depressed, I'd like to feel bad for you. I fucking don't. And for multiple reasons. One, I warned you about this back in December. I told you the lines are going to get longer. The amount of times you do this shit is going to get more often. No, I just do it once in a while with my friends. You don't like that I'm having fun. I fucking nailed it, didn't I? It's almost like I know what I'm talking about. And I've nailed every subsequent thing after that. These people got you to where you are. That house you're in that you feel safe in, that's where the call's coming from. That's what got you fucked over like this. You're broadcasting, you're showing up to this court appearance from the same place that fucked you over. And you're wondering why this keeps, quote unquote, happening to you. Remember the message she sent me and everybody else? My charges were dropped. I'm not an addict. Someone did this to me. You're goddamn right. You know who did it to you? Nick and Kayla Rakeda. Those are the two people who did it to you. And until you fix that problem, you're fucked. Your life doesn't start until you get the fuck away from there. And I know that's going to be difficult, but that's what courage is. Doing difficult shit. Any coward can stay there and hunker down in the Baldo bunker. But admitting you did wrong, admitting that these people got you in a shitload of trouble and going to rebuild your life, and how poetic that you could do it in Litchfield where you were born. You could go back and rebirth yourself. That takes courage. Any fucking chicken shit can hunker down in Nick's studio and show up and just be, oh, fuck, no, my motion got denied. Anybody can do that. I can bring any crackhead into that room and he'll do the same thing you're doing. But it takes a bad motherfucker to go, oh, wait, maybe where I am is part of the problem. And maybe if I remove myself from where I am, yeah, there will be pain immediately, like ripping off a Band-Aid, but I'll begin to heal.
Rather be in the uncontested block because every now and then discovery issues pop up.
Yep, and that's fine. The purpose in our county for the uncontested omnibus is for the defendant to either demand or waive the contested omnibus. So it does buy you a little time, and the case is not assigned yet either.
I just think of her, like I think right now April just hears whirring in her head. She just hears because Nick probably told her, oh, the motion's you're going to be fine. They'll just get rid of this. There's no grounds for it. April, he's lied about his own case multiple times. He's been wrong about his own case multiple times. What makes you think he's telling you the truth?
Sign it when.
Why is it that everything he tells you seems to work out in his favor? When has he ever told you something that is detrimental to him but works well for you? Think about it.
You demand or waive omnibus.
Thank you.
Omnibussing, homie. We omnibussing, Gallagher? Let us know. Sledge-o-matic, brother. Oh. Yeah, she's breathing. She's hiding the panic well, but it's right there underneath the surface.
September 17th.
She wants to cry. She does. That's sad to see someone. I knew somebody else, you know? And then to see them in this position, you're like, it's a weird spot for me to be in because I'm having this feeling right now as I see this where I'm like, I know there was a time in my life where I would have done anything to help her. And I see her now and I feel no need to help. That's if you can understand for a moment, that's a weird feeling to have where you were like, at one point in my life, I would have done anything to make sure this person felt zero pain. And right now, I look at it and I go, hey, kid, them's the breaks. That's the result. That's the consequences of your actions. That's a weird fucking feeling to have. I've never had that before.
At 2:30?
That's out of 14 days.
Can't do it at 2:30. That's when you go to the dentist. Did you hear what I said? I said that's when you go to the dentist at 2:30. But do you get the joke? No, because say, okay, so the time I said, 2:30, say it fast. Right, why would you go to the dentist at that time? No, because 2:30. No, tooth hurty. You get it now? I'm not moving on until you say you get it. Thank you.
Days. Oh, sorry. Would be the 11th at 2:45.
We would waive any time limits, by the way.
Gosh, I'm thinking.
I don't know why I like that. We would waive any time limits, by the way. I'm thinking. Hold on a second. God damn it.
Totally. Sorry. My fault.
You know what happened? Gallagher busted out the sledge-o-matic and the judge was like, I'm fucking distracted. Don't smash watermelons yet.
Okay, time is waived. So the 17th, a lot of our prosecutors are gone.
Kristen Pierce, are you going on vacation, sweetheart? Where are you going? Nashville to see Post Malone? That'd be fucking cool. I like Kristen Pierce. I don't know why. She just seems like a good person to me.
And so let's go.
Then again, I'm comparing her to the Ricadas in April. So I guess,
To
October 8th at 3:30.
Fucking baller if April went, can't, I'm hunting that day. That'd be fucking cool if she was like, I'm going to be in the deer stand. Can't do it. Sorry.
That works for the state, Your Honor.
That works for me. I'm not sure if my client, is that a good date? April?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, she didn't want to talk. Yeah, she's putting on a good face. Ooh, she's scrimping. Copyright Patrick Melton. Is that what that means? Hey, is that what scrimping is? Is that what scrimping is? Is that the face that scrimping is? Ooh, she's scrimping. I'm not doing it right. Fuck. I got to watch Patrick Melton more. No? Does he not like me? Shit. Thought he was a fan. Thought he was a tow boy.
3:30 on October 8th. That continues to be a remote appearance for uncontested omnibus. Ms. Pierce, what's the state's position on release?
Your Honor, the state's position is if we omnibussing, then shit bussin' on God, for real, for real. This shit be fire, it be lit.
Your Honor, this does involve the possession of controlled substances.
Yeah.
We are requesting unconditional bail in the amount of $20,000, conditionally that she could be released on her own recognizance on the conditions that she have no use of controlled substances or alcohol that are not prescribed.
Okay, so if she doesn't pay $2,000 in a bail bond, if Nick doesn't pay $2,000 in a bail bond, if I were Robert Ricada, like right now is where I think about trading up, because like you buy low, right? $2,000 will get yous. Nah, I can't do that to Celeste.
Submit to random testing, remain law-abiding, and report to probation as directed.
Mr. Gallagher.
Your Honor, I believe the allegations are very scant in this case, to the point that it would be inappropriate to have conditions of release on her. She's here on a summons. I don't know why we need to impose bail or conditions.
Because she had cocaine on her cards with a bunch of coke heads, and she was one. And, yeah, that's why. Because the other two are charged with second-degree fucking possession of an ounce of coke. That's why. They don't want her to do cocaine while she's awaiting an omnibussing for coke.
Especially testing.
Ms. Imholt.
She's got lots of blonde hairs on top of that head. You can pluck one every now and again, test it up. Or are they going to have her piss? A little piss test?
You're ordered to make all future court appearances arrive 15.
Don't take any more blood from the Ricadas or April. They're already white as fuck. You take any more blood from these people, they're going to turn into ghosts.
minutes early, ready to proceed. Keep in contact with Mr. Gallagher as he's your point of contact for all court business. You are to be booked on this charge, and you'll need to make arrangements to come into the courthouse in Candioi County and Wilmer any business day from the hours of 9 to noon or 1 to 4, and that's just for pictures and fingerprints.
Oh, pictures. I'll dress up nice. I'll wear a dress. I'll do glamour shots. Oh, you mean like a mug shot. You know, I've already done that once. Don't feel like doing it again.
If you've already done this, then that has been satisfied. You are ordered to...
And April's like, I'm old hat at this shit. Fingerprints, mugshot. Fuck me.
Remain absolutely law-abiding. You may gain your unconditional release by posting cash or bond in the amount of $20,000.
Don't worry, Your Honor. My boyfriend's got it. I mean my girlfriend's husband. I mean the... Fuck. Shit. My boss. Boss? I don't... Nick's got it.
In the alternative, I will release you on your own recognizance subject to conditions. The conditions are as follows. Don't leave the state of Minnesota without prior court approval.
Sorry, Kiki.
Have no use or possession of alcoholic beverages or mood-altering substances that are not prescribed to you.
Well, that's going to be fucking impossible because I need a drink right about now.
And submit to any form of testing to verify that you are abstaining.
The only person I pissed for is Nick, goddamn. Oh, sorry.
The testing can be at the demand of law enforcement or probation. You are responsible for the cost of the testing. Failure to cooperate or failure to show up for testing is the same as using and providing a positive sample. You'd have no use or possession of firearms.
So if you pull that fucking traffic court shit you pulled with Nick, they're going to assume you're doing blow.
Dangerous weapons, ammunition, or explosives. You must meet...
Oh, shit, she can't have bombs. April can't build pipe bombs or she's going to jail. She can't have weapons. Wait a minute. Can she go hunting? Go back.
Use or possession of firearms, dangerous weapons, ammunition, or explosives.
I'm pretty sure a bow and arrow is a dangerous weapon. I've killed a man with a bow and arrow before. It can be done. I've killed a man with a paperclip. People don't know that about me. So so Nick's got to pony up the $2,000. Nick, you paid $5,000 for Kayla. You won't pay $2,000 for me. I'll take Aaron's dress back.
You must meet with Candioi County Community Corrections initially to do intake or pretrial release monitoring of the court's conditions, and thereafter as they require. Their number is 3.
Guys, that's not an Adam's apple. That's just a throat.
202316222.
One time she bit off part of my dick and it got lodged in her larynx.
And you are required to call them and establish this relationship for pretrial release monitoring within the next 24 hours. All right, anything else?
Actually, my boyfriend told me you guys are all full of shit and corrupt, so I don't.
Come before the court today, Mr.
I'm a level 3 free inhabitant, so suck my dick.
Mr. Gallagher?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Ms. Pierce?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, matters adjourned. Thank you.
Show us how those tits far, April.
Okay, wait a minute. Show us. Now, people have said that they're saying, show us how them tits fart. I don't think that's what he said. Let's listen to this like this is a Zapruder film 900 goddamn times.
Show us how those tits far, April.
It's either show us how them tits are, April, or show us what them tits for, April. I don't think it's show us how them tits fart. I would hope that if you had a chance to yell something out in court and you only got one shot at this, you wouldn't yell tits fart.
Adjourned. Thank you.
Show us how those tits far, April.
Show us how. I mean, he said how. And I hear an F. God damn it. Did you really say show us how them tits fart?
Show us how those tits far, April.
Show us how them tits.
Show us how those tits far, April.
All right, I'm going to take her off the screen for a second, and I'm going to see what you guys think. I don't think he's saying tits fart, but I don't know what else he was saying. Let it be tits fart, Aaron. All right. Slow it down. They're calling her throat goat. Oh, that's... You're buzzing, bruh, on your way to the Ralpha zone. Well, I'm going to be gone in a little bit. But Grand Poobah with $2 says 2:30. I don't get it. Oh, well, you see, 2:30 is like your tooth hurts. 2:30. And that would, well, you get it. Foley with $4.99 says she was also denied the ability to not test for drug use, though her lawyer attempted to get her out of having to. Yeah, that didn't go very well. And not only that, like, Nick's going to pay the $2,000 so that she doesn't have to test because she wants to do some drinking. SG with $4.99 says, can't she find some other sugar trad dad? Why is she still there? All she has to do is hop on a dating app and escape this embarrassing mess. Yeah, but if you've got a lot of money, somebody brought this up to me today. If you've got a lot of money, are you going to go with a girl who's got a fucking gay-ass gas station wolf tattoo on her arm? No. You're going to go with a pretty girl with unadulterated skin. So a classy bitch, you know? A Christian girl with an unchristened asshole. SG with $4.99. Oh, I just read that one. $5 from Julius Presley says, I don't have $20,000, but hopefully this will help out. Thank you. Raz of Chaz with $2 says, I'd say tits part. Okay. Maybe it's, let's see how them tits part. Okay. Numero uno Josh Denny fan says, tits fart is toe cannon now. Sorry. All right. Let's go back and see the tits fart. Let's see, April. Let's see how them tits fart. How do them tits fart? People have been asking me since people have said this. They're like, Aaron, how do her tits fart? I'm like, I don't know. They're not the biggest tits in the world. You can't really create a fart with those tits. You can get the thing where like both of your chests like are pooling with sweat and then they rub and you get kind of that kind of sound or that kind of sound. But is that really a tit fart or is that more of a sweat smack kind of a thing? I don't know. I'm not sure. All I know is I could go for another Woodford.
Matters adjourned. Thank you.
Show us how those tits far, April.
Show us how them tits far. Show us how them tits far. I don't know. Last time, and then there's somebody else's penis or something. So I got to get to that.
Adjourned. Thank you.
Show us how those tits far, April.
So April kind of like smirks and smiles about it. Like April's like, haha, they're talking about my tits. Like April is kind of an exhibitionist. Like she kind of likes that people, strangers, like weird, creepy strangers think about her tits. I think that's a low self-esteem thing. And so someone like yelling about her tits, like, even though this went horrible for me and I have to go omnibussing and I can't do drugs or drink. Somebody said something about my tits. Oh, well, she did click off right away. So there is that. Maybe she didn't like the tit fart.
Show us how those tits far, April.
The lawyer is just sitting there going, fuck. Oh, they didn't get the penis. The person who yelled penis on that one, they cut it off before that happened. Well, that was it. That was the hearing. I don't know. I'll stop short of saying she took it like a champ. There were definitely conflicted moments in there. She was definitely putting on a face. I think she wanted to cry. She wanted to be upset about that. Who wouldn't? But she fucking hung in there. But I don't think, if you made me guess what the person said, I'd have to say tits fart. But I don't think they said tits fart. That's the weird part is I'm like, I don't know what they said, but I know it's not tits fart. You know? I think they said Inagata Devita. Is what it was. Rupert, becoming a member for 27 months, says that's a narcissism thing. Someone's talking about her. Even if it's something bad, it's about her. I don't think she's a true blue narcissist. Like, now that I've met one, like Nick Ricade is a narcissist. That's a high bar. Like some people are just selfish and shitty. That doesn't make you a narcissist if you're selfish and shitty. That's most people, actually. So I don't, maybe it was like such a traumatic thing was happening. Someone yelled something silly and she was like, oh, God, this feels a little lighthearted now. Steve C with $5 says, do you think Nick is blowing gum in April's glove right now? Look, everybody needs stress relief, my man. Everybody needs to relieve some stress. Let's go to Anonymous says, Aaron, it's Titsar. I read the YouTube transcript on Stalin's channel. Okay, let's see how them tits are, April. You know what? Let's see how them tits are, April. That works. I'll go with that. MSO says, I bet Nick paid for that tattoo and encouraged it so she would be less desirable to another millionaire. I can't rule out anything with that crazy fuck. Dig Bick says, I don't really believe you dislike her. You want her to get clean and move on. As you said before, you just dislike her drug use. I believe that is really where you're coming from. Just my opinion. I don't know. Like, I got 3 kids and she didn't treat them the best at the end. I don't like that. So I'm going to go with I don't like her. Let's go ahead and wrap it up for the evening. Thank you guys very much. We appreciate you being here. I didn't get too drunk. I don't think I embarrassed myself. Apparently I was wrong. Guys, thank you very much. I can't wait to watch Sean tonight. Are the Kino Casino boys on? Is it Kino night? I hope it is. Talk to you later. Take it easy. Have a great rest of your night. I'm going to bed.